Underdog Daily with the Badge Bros, John and Nez here for a Monday edition. We got a 6-game hoop slate up in the lobby there, but a lot took place over the weekend. We had some friends and family take down some slates there. We'll talk through that. We got a legend who cashed a dog bowl seat. And speaking of said legend, his contest, when Dinger, maybe Dinger, coming soon Dinger, question mark. We're looking through, as the true sickos do, the rankings tab on Underdog right now, and you can see that it has pivoted from the way too early to the 2025 season there for MLB. So anticipating potentially a Dinger drop in our near future here. Might have to do some prep for that. Might have to get ready for that one, Nez?
Oh, you haven't been getting ready. Oh no. Who's gonna help old John Boy over here get ready for 240 drafted MLB players times 150 drafts? I mean, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, dude. Well, I'm already ready. Fade all Pirates. As per your recommendations, right? And then Isak Paredes, Kerry Bonds, Matt Wallner, log off. I'm ready.
Basically, yeah. There you go. Congrats on your whatever first place is. Congrats on
it. Yeah, man. Excited about that. A little bit of information here on the back end there. Maybe soon. I don't know. Numi's giving us a little info on the side here that may or may not be within the time frame of this show. Fingers crossed that it is, because then we will hop in the streets right away. But first, Nez, we got to give some shout outs over the weekend there. Dude, I'm not lying when I say friends and family in a big way. Car Park last night, our guy, Dirty Hands, Clean Money, took down the puck slate and took down a little bit of football action there. John Gill got his first ever goat horns, gives us a shout out there. So that's one end of the spectrum. We're dealing with like some smaller dollar slates and some whatever. Other end of the spectrum is our guy, Sam Wilson, man. Can't say enough about this dude. Walks in here and he takes a dog bowl seat right away. I'll bring that one up real quick here. And then, juxtapose that, Nez, that we have the GOAT Sam Wilson take down a dog bowl seat on Friday night. We had one of the legends with his jersey in the rafters, but still participating, T-Box, take one down. Then we had Magikarp, who participated in the NFL dog bowl, take down a slate this weekend as well. So all these sweet names coming through. And then you juxtapose that to a first ever time drafter, Nez. Dallas 10-27-01 comes in here and rips a dog bowl seat with one bullet. Love the story. Love to see it.
That's so awesome, man. Like Dallas, and no doubt his birthday. That is 100,000% dude's birthday. Right there. October 27th, 2001. Dude comes in, one bullet, man. And of course, it was going to be somebody, like this on this dog bowl slate. Some of us were sharp enough to take Paolo Banchero. Other people like Dallas are out here taking Paolo Banchero at ADP and getting all the way home with it. So that's going to be awesome, man. Wish I could be in San Diego to meet Sir Dallas, but I'm sure you're going to represent us well out there, John.
Dude, I love how the stories just come together. Like this has happened with every live event that we've had where it's like both end of the spectrum, like meet. Like this guy got his badge from this draft. Like, yeah. It's so cool.
One draft, one badge. That's pretty sick.
Yeah. Couldn't be me, Nez. Shoot, dude. How was your weekend, man? Did you play all the hoop slates there? I know we had a little bit of a wonky hoop slate there with one of the LA games getting canceled, or both the LA games getting canceled on Saturday night there, and then we had a weird kind of Laurie Markkinen rule out one last night. So how'd you fare over the weekend there?
Not great. No. Not great. Enjoyed the playoff. Enjoyed the playoff football. I got embeated very hard last night. Yeah. 3 straight outs or something to a Q. I'm like, okay, well, cool. Now he's going to play. No, he's not. Didn't play. got mega boned on that one. But I had another like Kyle Kuzma moment where I had 60% Kuzma, and this was even worse though because I had like 40% Dante DiVincenzo on Dante DiVincenzo night and lost money. So
Oh,
you
he put
know
up 52 or something.
he did, John. He did.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
So like honestly, like it's not like I'm feeling as though like I'm joking in Discord, like I'm bad at the games right now. I mean, my results have been terrible lately, like no joke. But I honestly can't really feel too bad about my confidence levels. I'm still finding my way to the right plays. We'll get back in the winner circle. I'm sure of it. But I have been, providing the liquidity for these people.
Oh man. Tough weekend for the kid there. Coupled with that, Nez, your Steelers didn't put up much of a fight there. How'd you feel about that one?
What
I
do
saw
you
you.
mean? They put up a fight? What are you talking about?
Okay. Put up a bit of a fight. Put up a bit of a fight, eh?
That game, that game, that game was entertaining for longer than I expected it to be.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch a large majority of that one. I smelt a lot of roses this weekend. I'm not gonna lie. And then I watched
Really?
all. I watched
Unlike
all.
you.
I watched all the recap stuff this morning. So I was playing catch up there. But yeah, I saw you jumped on with Pete and Gretch there for a bit there. Dude, you're grinding hard out here in these streets. He gave the people a fourth stream on Friday.
They love the no strip stream, dude. I had to hop on for a no strip.
I love it, dude. Mad respect. Hopping on both of those, bro. Anything you want to say about any slates on the weekend? We'll do a full football debrief when the slate ends. The slate is not officially over, obviously. There's one more game to this slate tonight, that Rams and Vikes game that's taking place in in Arizona there. Yeah, we could kind of see. I didn't get a ton in for this weekend. I only ended up getting like 30 BRs. I didn't even get my DeBombs or anything in there. But Matt Ray is leading the charge right now going in tonight with that Lamar plus Henry, Mixon, Ladd, your boy George Pickens there, and then a one-off Dallas Goedert as well. So be interested to see if anyone can catch him this evening with what should be one of the more exciting games on the slate with one of the higher totals. So I don't know if this one holds, but it is a pretty high score there.
Yeah, I think what Manta Ray is sweating is, pretty obvious, but Aaron Jones for sure. Kyron, I'm not entirely sure if like Kyron, Ladd, and Henry were paired, but I think Kyron, Ladd, and Nico were paired. But you're probably going to need that 30 from Henry. And then Hawk at tight end, potentially breaking the slate and pulling up like different combinations paired with Hawk. Otherwise, it's going to be tough, I think, for Cooper Kupp to make his presence felt because Henry, Ladd, and Kupp. If you got it, let us know. But I feel like that was probably a little tough to obtain.
Yeah. It would have been a lot closer of a sweat going into this evening. If
I obviously meant sorry, Puka. I said Kupp. I apologize.
Yeah.
Puka.
Yeah, you're good. It would have been a much closer, tighter, uglier, flatter sweat and slate for Manta Ray if Saquon had just housed that last one and not left those 14 fantasy points on the table for everybody there.
Yeah. Interesting slate, man. The way things broke out. I mean, NFL's been tough. I'm not gonna lie, dude. NFL BRs have been I feel like pretty tough. I mean, like I was all over Ladd, but like just didn't. I was sort of fading Henry for Jefferson and Puka. So I didn't get a lot of that, which obviously it was a bad move. But yeah, I mean these games have been pretty tough on me for NFL specifically.
Yeah, lot of variance, man, and a lot of people getting way sharper. The field's getting bigger, and the tools and resources are far more prevalent than they ever once were. So yeah, man, games are tough. Games are tough, such as the natural evolution of these games. Just scroll down there to see who the highest points remaining, and it's also Manta Ray with
Wow,
the
he's
highest
feeling
points
great, huh?
remaining one there. Yeah, so that's a TJ Hawkinson team. I don't think I have anything particularly live here. What am I looking at? Will Dustley. Nice play, John.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I don't think I got anything particularly. What did I do with my exposures? Mix in Puka. I did the Jaden Daniels stuff. Lad, nice work, past John.
There you go.
Not bad. All right. Let's move into today's slate. Today's slate, obviously not a dog bowl slate. I haven't played an NBA slate that wasn't a dog bowl slate in a minute here, Nez. Even the nights that it was the dog bowl, I was just jamming in. I was just jamming in the dog bowl stuff. I wasn't playing like the main slate as well.
Mhm.
I wasn't doing two at once. So yeah, dude, what are we thinking for this one? Just macro in general this evening. It's a six gamer with a couple pace up spots, but I guess the biggest looming macro is we have two games in LA tonight, and they
Mhm.
have moved the Saturday night game with the Spurs and the Lakers to this evening, and then they moved the Clippers game that was that evening to this evening. But they played the Hornets last time out. Tonight they did not play the Hornets. They play, who do they play again? Miami this evening. So yeah, it's interesting. On one of the redacted sites, they dropped those two games from the slate and played it as a 4-game. I'm glad Underdog did not do that. I'm glad they stuck with the 6. But just evergreen reminder to everybody, if something funky happens with that and we get another rule out due to the fire and the conditions and stuff like that, that it's too bad, so sad. Like in baseball with a rain out game, it just, so long way of saying that I've seen some people doing some funky things where I've seen AD fall to 5, I've seen AD fall to 4 in some of these rooms, where some
But
people
not
are
Wemby.
also, but not when I saw Wemby fall to like 3, but that was like it.
Mm.
Yeah. Now, but then AD still went above Wemby in that one, so it wasn't
Yeah.
much of anything. So yeah,
I think
interesting.
Adam Silver's going to make these guys play. I
Yeah,
think he's like, the show has to go on. If there's fewer attendees, it is what it is. We're going to delay tip by 30 minutes and do a big ceremony for people, and then the show goes on. Like this is what they do. They did their one postponement. Do what you got to do with your families, get things situated, but we have to keep the NBA season rolling on. That is my Adam Silver, putting myself in the mind of him, not my opinion.
yeah.
That's just what I think Adam Silver is saying and doing. And all signs point to these games being played.
Okay. Yeah, it's 2 postponements now because it was the Thursday versus Charlotte and then Saturday night versus the Spurs. So yeah,
Right.
they've basically haven't played in 5 days or whatever there. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm in the same camp as you there, Nez. I've been playing this slate as if those games go. Yeah, and it's interesting though because like I think the most desirable basketball game from like a viewership standpoint this evening would be that Spurs Lakers game. I don't think that they're the most fantasy friendly game environments. The Spurs Lakers a little more so than Clippers Heat in my estimation. But yeah, those two games, they're not the two that are jumping off the page for me in terms of like pace and totals and that sort of deal.
No, everything honestly looks pretty similar, except for
Okay.
that Memphis and that Memphis and Rockets game
Yeah, Memphis
is it,
fastest.
yeah.
Yeah, Memphis fastest team in basketball right now. But weird situation there with the midday illness queue tag for John Morant, which is generally speaking a death sentence in the past here. So yeah, just that's kind of like macro lay of the land. We'll talk through what we're doing with the Q tags and we'll talk through the slate itself in a game by game fashion. Unless you have any other macro notes, Nez.
No, we can go ahead and get moving here. But yeah, a lot of downgrades today.
Okay, cool. Yeah, who am I missing outside of
IQ.
I was about to say outside of IQ and Jaw.
Hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
those two get
Uh,
downgraded, but they're huge. They're huge. They're huge
yeah.
components to the slate.
Okay. Cool. Let's start with T-Wolves and Wizards. Wizards is this is actually a pretty clean slate in terms of there's only one team or there's two teams on back end back-to-backs, Knicks and Wizards, and they've both already filed. And then there's nobody on front end back-to-back. So this is like pretty clean, isolated island slate outside of like the LA potential looming fires conversation. But yeah, we got T-Wolves at Wiz here, 14 and a half point road favorites for a 223 total. This is a good spot for the T-Wolves, not only because of the implied total there and because of them being such high favorites, but this is considerably pace up for what they normally play. So there's that. And T-Wolves are pretty condensed as of right now. That we've been talking about how they only run basically like 9 deep, and back in the day we had the Rob Dillingham conversation, but he's been out with G League for a while. So clean injury report on their side. And then the Wiz side, we already got the Malcolm Brogdon out tag there and Marvin Bagley out tag, and then Sadiq Bey's been out forever. So there's those ones. Macro thoughts on this one, Ness?
Yeah, I mean the Wizards are a joke. They're tanking, but this is just absurd. The how hard that they are tanking. It's hard to find use for any Wizard today on the slate. Like Jordan Poole, I have a lot of trouble even getting to him today. He's like the highest drafted Wizard right now. So really nothing much to do with Washington on this one. They are terrible. And for the T-Wolves side of things, Ant Edwards, top 10 pick, had those back-to-back like God mode games. Kind of let me down. I mean, big time let me down the other night against Memphis. I thought he was in a great spot to go nuts. I had a lot of him and Dante that night, and then I think that ended up being the Dante show. But hard not to like think that Ant can't just really take over here or take the back seat like he's basically done all season. So yeah. Considering the guys that go just behind him right now in the current Q tag landscape, it's definitely hard for me to get to a lot of Anthony Edwards, considering we have Scotty with no IQ and Jaren Jackson with no jaw, assuming. That makes it really hard to get to Anthony Edwards today, in my opinion, with those guys behind him. But Randall and Dante feel great today.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I fully agree with you there, Nez. I was having a hard time clicking Ant's name over those two, Scotty in particular for me. Yeah, I'm in agreement with you on that one. Yeah, Dante, Naz Reid in the last round, like they feel fine. Like I like getting to the Dante stuff. Man, I kind of like Rudy Gobert. There's an abundance of centers on this slate. Just in general, like all the centers stand out to me as like half decent plays this evening.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's like Duren in the last round looks nice to me. Gobert in the last round looks nice to me. And then obviously the two best plays on the slate, AD and Wemby are centers. Like it's just interesting that it's setting up. Bam looks like he's a little undervalued comparative to ADP versus projection. So like the centers for whatever reason just kind of like popping across the board to me.
Yeah, Rudy Gobert sub 30 is a tough click for me. Like,
yeah,
you have to get like 5 stocks for Gobert to end up in the winning lineup, and I just can see Washington playing pretty small today unless they give like the Joe Val a ton of run, like, or if he's going to match up against Sar.
I think it's a lot. Sar.
Yeah, like it's just to me like we know the Gobert ceiling, but it's hard for me to pinpoint, and I like what I'm seeing from Dante lately. He got inserted into the starting lineup and has taken on a much larger role. And against Washington, I just really like this spot for him. So I kind of like ceiling and median more for Dante today, but can't blame anybody for liking Rudy though.
Yeah, I like that shout actually. Now that I like think like a little bit more about like the matchup driven stuff there, I just think he could cook Sar on both ends, but like we haven't seen
offensively. Rudy, who's Rudy? How does Rudy cook offensively?
Exactly. Like he just doesn't touch the ball on the offensive end anymore unless he gets offensive boards. Yeah. It's so different. Weird. It's so different than the Rudy Gobert of a year and a half ago or 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, it's not great.
All right. Anything else to say on that one? I mean, like, obviously we don't have Wizards full understanding of Wizards yet, but you said you don't like Poole at his ADP, which is 27 right now, but any love for like last round Kuzma, last round Koulibaly, last round. Yeah, I don't know, like Joe Val, Sar, anything like that.
One thing you can say for Kuzma is he's going to be way low owned, and the minutes are up. He just like shot like absolute dog shit last time out
Yeah.
against OKC, and that's OKC. They're a tough spot, but Minnesota's also a tough spot. Like I would probably prefer Sar out of as a secondary wizard. Like as a rookie, he's seeing more usage, seeing a little bit more minutes, and I think the matchup would necessitate him on the floor more than usual. But like Kuzma and Sar as like very thin dart throws, but like you right now, I have like my eyes set on other picks in the sixth.
Is Kuzma a trade piece? Like,
I
could
think
he?
so.
Yeah, could he go on like a little bit of a streak here that resembles what Zach Levine's been doing and play his way out?
I mean, they could try, but
Yeah,
like I'm just way more dedicated to like letting the young guys play as opposed to like showcasing Kuzma. And maybe that's because Kuzma's been hurt. Maybe there's a
yeah.
chance like this that takes place before the trade deadline. But yeah, it's very matchup based for me with Kuzma. And tried to call the shot against Chicago, tried to call the shot against New Orleans, and we got there, but it didn't matter.
But yeah, I mean he's 29 and he's got 2 years left. 21 mil next year, 19 mil the fall. I mean, dude, that's not terrible. He signed a 4-year and 90. He's 29. I just don't know who would want him, I guess.
I know.
Right? Interesting, just kind of thinking through.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Pistons, Knicks. Man, Knicks went bonkers. Oh, this is one thing I was gonna say about the back-to-back situation. As I alluded to, there's no front end back-to-back. The 2 back end back-to-backs also were big ass blowouts yesterday. Like the Wizards got their doors blown off by OKC at home, and then the Knicks blew the shit out of Bucks? Question mark? I can't remember right now. Yeah, Bucks.
Was it the Bucks? Wow.
Yeah, I think it was the Bucks, and then Brunson put up like 44 in 29 minutes, and he came to the bench holding his shoulder, and then went to the locker room early there. So the Q tag on Brunson seems somewhat legit. So I just think that's it was like actually a designation. It wasn't like just Q tag after a back to back. Like he actually had something going on with his shoulder there. But they're 7.5 point favorites still today at home versus the Pistons here. 222 total there. Injury report on the Knicks side just has Brunson with the Q tag, and then the out tags of years past, kind of guys that we've dealt with all season long. And then on the Pistons side of the ball, basically the exact same thing. Super clean here. It's just the Ivy and who's going to be out for a long time. And then all the guys on G League assignment, which includes Ron Harper Jr., who had factored into the rotation ever so slightly, like playing like 9 to 11 minutes here and there. So I do think that one is, maybe not entirely noteworthy for our game, but just noteworthy in terms of bench run for somebody else there. Nez, Cat goes at basically pick 3 every single time. Josh Hart goes second and or third round. A good deal there. Brunson as well in that range. Cade's in the first round. And then outside of that, yeah, man, you can have OG in the last round if you want it. You can have Bridges in the last round if you want it. And then you can have any other Pistons piece in the last round if you want it. What do you think, dude?
Well, I like the spot for New York for sure. It's tough because this Brunson Q tag, Brunson's tough. He plays through a lot of shit. So It's hard to know exactly how legit this Q tag is, especially because we didn't get him ruled out right away. He went to the locker room, came back and still, balled out, and we didn't get the immediate out tag. So what I am almost guaranteeing is we get game time decision on Jalen Brunson. And, I think they play him.
Okay.
I would think that he plays. So he seems like a pretty good pick because he falls quite a bit thanks to said Q tag. That said, I still like Josh Hart today, given the guys that go around Josh Hart. This just feels like a game where Josh Hart gives you that Josh Hart 40, that hard fought 40 from Josh Hart. And that's really all I ever do with the Knicks is those 3. Cat
16, 9, and 11.
Yeah.
Just maybe pencil it in.
2 stocks in there too. Like he's just he's a great guy, man. He's a great guy. He rarely lets you down. So Josh Hart does feel good considering the guys that do go around him that do have higher ceilings, but shakier floors. And then Pistons, man, you mentioned Duran. He's definitely like in consideration in the sixth round, but I'm not necessarily going to get there. But
Center
Cade,
flowchart's been okay versus Knicks. It's picked up in recent memory. Like it was a flowchart spot at the start of the season there where Cat was just getting like cooked on the defensive end. But now they figured some stuff out a little bit later. Now that we're at like game 40-ish for them, they figured it a little bit out, and he's defensively been a little bit better. But it still does stand out a little bit as a spot for bigs.
yeah, but like Duran has no bag. So
Right.
how's he cooking Cat? Like he's getting, maybe he's gonna get some boards. Like he
That's no bag. You know how you cook some 8 dunks.
Yeah, there you go. That's how he's good. And Cat's tough on the boards, man. So like, it's not anything that sticks out to me on Duran.
Okay.
Love Cade today. Cade is, number 4 for sure. I'm not taking Braun over him, but if you want to say like LeBron LA narrative and he shows out for like, for the Fires, like honestly, I could see it.
Okay.
And just one quick shout for Asar Thompson. We're just waiting for this dude to get Amen minutes. I thought we were going to see a big game from him against Toronto. He, I think, like ended half with like 19 fantasy points and then finished with 23. Super frustrating because I'm trying to be early on Asar. Today is not the day, but just keep your eyes peeled for a short slate Asar because he's going to break a slate one of these days, man, because he's going to be too cheap when he does finally break out.
Yeah, I do. I don't know. Like I do kind of agree that today is not the day, I guess, because like they are like super healthy but he still will start this evening, right? Like they're going to start him and Tobias together.
Cade, Tobias. I feel like they're going to do Cade, Tobias, Beasley, THJ, and Duran.
Okay. And then play Asar off the bench for like 21 or something like that.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, my dog wants in.
No worries. I do think that's a pretty sharp shout just in general to be like trying to get ahead on the Asar stuff in the future here, just because we know what he can do rates wise in multiple categories. So I do think getting ahead of Asar, like just for future recommendation, is sharp. I do also think if we're jamming up until lock here and all of a sudden we get a starting lineup that like Brunson doesn't go on one side, and I mean, not that impacts Asar, but like just like something funky happens where like Brunson doesn't go, and then you get a late Q tag on the Detroit side, and it looks like Asar could jump into that starting lineup that he should be in swap consideration or 6th round consideration when you're jamming at lock.
Yeah, if things do happen to break his way, I will adjust accordingly. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's move on to the next one here, Nez. We got Raptors at home. They're home dogs to the Warriors, who are 5.5-point favorites there. This is a 228.5 total in Toronto. This is homecoming narrative for Andrew Wiggins, who has that nice big green active tag beside his name after missing the last couple. We still have a Q tag on Draymond Green, who basically they came out. Kerr came out. They're not going to play back-to-backs, yada, yada. So the last game, both Draymond Green and Steph missed there. So expecting Steph back tonight, and Draymond still has a Q tag with an illness. But we're without Pods. We're without Gary Payton Jr. or Gary Payton II, and we are out with Kuminga as well. So, I mean, a lot of moving pieces still on the Warriors side. And then the big downgrade Q tag, as you alluded to, there with IQ, left hip soreness, which is the same left hip that he was on the injury report with prior to coming back here. So, what are your kind of thoughts on this game in general and some of the ADPs associated with it? We kind of both mentioned that Scotty over Ant for us right now.
Yeah, I like Steph in this spot. Scotty's going over Steph right now, but I like Steph here like quite a bit, and I'm definitely like on an island with that. Scotty's been playing really, really well,
Okay.
But he's so shaky, but having no IQ there, I think definitely helps him out. As far as being the ball in his hands, more better distributor, asked to do more offensively, all that stuff makes sense. But like Curry for me is like a strong 10, and I might even like try to get a little overweight on Steph. Just because I think against Toronto, man, I'm always trying to take guys against Toronto. Back to the Raptor side of things, though, I don't have a lot of Pirtle right now, but I have Pirtle at ADP, so I don't know if Pirtle is projecting like off the charts or something. But like I had Pirtle like right at ADP, and I have like none.
Okay.
So that was like weird because like I'm a bit of a Pirtle guy. I guess part of it is like I have RJ way ahead of Pirtle, so maybe that's
Okay.
why.
That's why. That is 100% why then. Because
Yeah.
RJ currently still falls back to ADP when I was doing them this morning here.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah.
He
But
needs I'm gonna have like 50% RJ today.
yeah, RJ without IQ should be like in the hero conversation.
Yes.
Hero, Fred VanVleet, Jalen Green, like that conversation. And I think I like RJ more than a lot of it.
I have RJ like you said, him and Desmond Bain are neck and neck for me right now. I have RJ ahead of Desmond Bain. Like you said, a few spots behind Hero. I love RJ right now. Just assuming that IQ doesn't go, we need to give RJ a lot of love, and I am. So I got that covered at least. I believe I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the big swing point for these ADPs are just if you play Jaw out and if you play IQ out. Because then the contingent projection will put RJ as like player 12 on this slate. It'll put Bain as player 16 on this slate.
Yeah. And I would do that. I would definitely do that.
So you're playing them both out right now and getting
100%.
ahead of it.
100%. Yeah. Additionally, so that's really it on the Raptors, playing IQ out, no Grady Dick, and no first option Chris Boucher. What the hell is going on with that?
He broke he broke one of the redacted slates over the weekend there. What did he have? 29? 23 and 12. There you go. 43 fantasy points in 20.
And then against the Pistons, he got those 14 points like all in the first quarter. Like
Yeah.
it was like I was like, oh my god, are we doing this again? Like, what is happening? We tried to call a Chris Boucher slate last year during silly season, and that didn't happen. I did.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, what about Chris Boucher? Didn't happen. Did not happen.
He's kind of they were doing some mix and match stuff with like Oji Akbaji and stuff like that, and he was drawing into the starting lineup earlier in the year and this sort of thing, and now he's like a coach's DNP because of the way Chris Boucher has been playing. Yeah, which is just interesting. I mean, it doesn't affect our game. Maybe maybe if we were playing dog bowl slates today on only a 6-gamer, I mean, maybe you could be getting crazy in the last round trying to find a ceiling with 20 minutes. But I do just think it's interesting, noteworthy that you just see like it's come completely at the expense of Akbaji here.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, just completely like he went from like you said, playing a lot to not at all. So yeah, that does it for me on the Raptors. But the Warriors, I think, are really, really interesting.
Okay.
So Draymond seems to me like he is not going to go.
Okay.
So I'm playing Draymond out right now, which like makes Trace Jackson Davis a smash, Andrew Wiggins a smash. I Healed and Schroeder. I don't really end up getting to ever, but like I'm all in on this Trace Jackson Davis stuff, dude. I am like really into the way that he is like his minutes have gone up. Projections are buying it. They keep telling us that he's a good pick at ADP. And he's the type of guy that I like, right? He's not Josh Hart like at all, but like similar, like he just reminds me of that type of player, just like a grinded out. Like he's not going to get you his fantasy points offensively, right? He's going to do it on good D and get you there with boards. So against Toronto, man, I really like Trace Jackson Davis today. I've got a lot of him, and I hope I can keep getting him in the 6th round. But if not, Wiggins in the 6th round, I think is really nice as well here. Like you said, homecoming kid today.
Yeah, any worry about potential minutes for Wiggins having missed like 3 now? I mean, last time back he played like 25, 26, something like that. Yeah, I think it was 2 or 3 games ago. It's 6 games ago now, but his third game, where was it? Yeah, 36, 26, 24, and then missed the 2 on the road trip already.
Yeah, I was not really too concerned about it.
Okay, sure. Perfect.
I mean, he's only missed 2 games,
Yep.
so yeah. And he practiced Sunday. I'm not worried about
They're going to get his in Toronto.
it. They should.
For sure, man. He's gonna have friends and family out. He's gonna, yeah. That just feels like, yeah. That's just one of those where you can. He's already projecting decently. Like he's projecting as like a tail end 5th rounder or whatever right now. If you just like straight rank them, so I mean, getting him in the 6th round feels pretty comfy with a potential, mid 40s ceiling on a short slate like this.
Yeah. Agreed.
Okay, let's talk about Rockets and Grizz. We are both currently playing it as Jaw is out. That midday queue that is one of the illness variety has, as we've alluded to over and over and over again, and smarter people than I have alluded to on their shows, that it is a death sentence. Those midday queues for illness downgrades. Rockets as 2-point favorites at home here. This is a pretty meaningful game in the West. I know we're not standings watching just yet, but man, the Grizz have been doing a lot with a little this year, man. Shout out to them, dude. Like they just been running all these different bodies, and yeah. Anyways, Coach of the Year considerations there, but yeah,
Our Grizzlies.
Yeah. Remember when Newbie said they wouldn't finish higher than
Oh
6?
man, I'll never let him. We'll never let him down because he
dunk all over Newbie right now.
You would have thought we spit in his face when we were like, dude, the Grizzlies are like nice. He's like,
yeah,
what?
Yeah. We were like, I'll take their roster over your T-Wolves in the future. And he's like, oh my God.
He was so offended.
Man. Yeah, so offended. Yeah. All right. Grizz and Rockets here, Nez. This is a pace-up game for the Rockets, which means it's pace down for the Grizz, but it is still the fastest game on the slate with the highest total. Depending where you look, we're getting to 32.5 right here. I know it was a little higher this morning than that when I was doing, my stuff. Like the unabated line right here suggests that it's 234 right there, but that might be based on I don't know, because they still have Rockets as -3.5. I was about to say that might be because they have Jaw in, but if the line moves the Rockets side, maybe that implies the conditional has Jaw out as of right now. But yeah, obviously Desmond Bane's going to get a decent bump if we get no Jaw. Jaren Jackson Jr., kind of goes at a fair ADP right now. And then Ahmed and Sengun both go in the first like 10 to 12 picks today, which I mean, rightfully so, man. Ahmed's kind of like earned that. But I will say that we are not fully out of the clear. Obviously, no, why am I blanking? Jabari Smith Jr. for sure. But we are still dealing with this Tyrese and doubtful tag that we've talked about for 2 slates now, where it's like, be mindful when he comes back that the Ahmed minutes are just like less secure. Now, that being said, he has done a lot to earn a lot, and I still like him at ADP today, but I'm just throwing that one out there for you. Anyways, Nez, I've spoken too much. Just kind of macro thoughts on this game and some of the targets you like and or dislike.
Yeah, hard not to like it. It was pretty fun. The last time they played, we saw Sengun with an awesome game. That last time they played as well. Amen is definitely like a tough one for me because the floor is really low for my guy. Ceiling super high, floor he can probably kill you where he goes. Only 20.5 PRA. And when you have like a potential active an active Brunson, projecting for 36.5 and 41 fantasy points, like Amen's fantasy point projection is 38. So it is like a 3-point difference. So it's tough, man. It's tough. I love Amen and I love the spot against the Grizzlies. So I'm gonna have him, but I really just like am enjoying these other Grizzlies at ADP right now. Fred VanVleet, Jalen Green, both having really strong roles right now. Should be in line for great games. And then you mentioned, obviously, we talked about at the top, John Morant. I am pretty much just ruling him out, damn near out of my player pool. And that has me excited for Jaren Jackson, who just has been on another level lately. Really, really stepping up in a big way right now. And doing it consistently, which like that's always been my problem. Is like, yeah, I love Triple J, but like, when is he giving me the 20 ball? And now
Right.
that I say that, it could be tonight, and that would just break my cold heart. But
Yeah.
I think that he's a great pick right now. And then Desmond Bain without Jaw is definitely mispriced right now if that holds up. He's going to be a great pick. These Rockets without Jabari have been playing faster, and they have been allowing teams to have fun fantasy games. They are not this like lockdown, like they're a great team. Shout out to our Rockets as well. We got a lot of teams in the West, but
That's true.
I got a fat future on Rockets wins, so I'm basically already counting those shekels. These this is like the game for me to want to get to.
Okay, cool. Just looking at ADPs, who do you prefer between Fred VanVleet, aka Dick Van Meat, and Jalen Green?
Man, I have Jalen Green ahead, but like it is tough because like Fred, I feel like Fred's more likely to get to like it's such a weird thing to say, but like I see Fred getting 50 more often than I see Jalen Green getting 50, and I see Jalen Green outscoring Fred more often as well. So like better ceiling, maybe better floor with Jalen Green. This iteration of Jalen Green right now, Jalen Green's on a tear at the moment. Great spot. I just don't see things slowing down for them.
I think another way to say that in basketball terms would be like Fred VanVleet has the switch in his brain to defer far more often than Jalen Green does when the other guy's going well.
Yeah.
Like Fred VanVleet's not gonna just put up 8 triples for no reason when he knows Jalen Green's going well and he's 1 for 5 to start the game or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is perfectly put by Paid. Jalen Green has so many 33-1-1 games. Like it does feel that way, man. It does just feel like full-fledged one category. Put it up.
Yeah, he is that kind of guy.
I'll say he's way cooler with the cornrows too. Like just from like a steez on the court standpoint, when he had like the mini fro back in the day, he's way cooler he's like way harder with the cornrows. Like I'm scared that he's coming to the rack with the cornrows. When he had the mini fro, I was like, this is like rookie season Andrew Wiggins. That's soft.
I like that take. I like that take.
This is the hard hitting basketball advice you guys come here for.
I think you might be onto something.
Does any scroll the F downs in this game? Highest total on the slate, presumably fastest game on the slate. We know that Memphis is like pretty spread. They're kind of like the side of the ball that I would be looking for like scroll the F down. But man, as we alluded to last time, when Scottie Pippen Jr. had like a higher ADP there, the minutes are capped. And the only reason he got home was because of the 6 outlier stocks. And then you see the minutes being capped again. But can we get to like, this is all assuming Jaw gets ruled out. Is there any way we could get to like Edey, Jalen Wells fills it up from 3? We know he's going to start, like anything like this, or is it just too thin on this slate?
I think it's too thin.
Okay.
There's just a lot of other guys that you can get to late in the 6th. I mean, the 6th is becoming more and more barren as like people, their projections came in the mail and now they're like, oh, okay, yeah, here's who I take. It's still a little thin.
Respect it, bro. Okay, cool. Let's move on to the next one there. Heat and Clippers this evening. Clippers anticipating having Kawhi back. He played 2, then missed 1, then we'll be back again this evening. He's had a minutes cap, obviously, minutes restriction thus far. He hasn't eclipsed 21 yet. I think it was 20 and 19 there. This is going to be kind of like a slower pace, tougher defensive matchup for both sides. Both these teams playing some decent defense. Clippers in particular playing some big time defense. Now you add Kawhi back to that mix. there. So yeah, I mean, it's not like a game that pops off the page, but there's a lot of talent in this game, and I think I'll kind of have like a soft rule with this game, and I don't normally have a rule like this, but for whatever reason on this slate, when I look at it as a whole, Nez, I kind of have like a soft rule of like a 2 max from this game. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, these Clippers and Heat slates are always tough, and now you get them like paired together.
Right.
Makes things ugly, but even in these low totals and low pace games, you get your Goga nights where there was like Miami versus Magic, I think it was, and then Goga still
Mhm.
like the game goes below 200 and Goga still puts up like 40 some fantasy points. Like
Exactly.
I'm so
Yeah.
worried. I'm so worried about like Bam getting home
Mhm.
today. Like Bam versus Fred to me, like I want Fred.
Right.
I want Fred against the Grizzlies. So like I'm really worried about Bam getting home. He has a PRA below 30 last I checked, so it's not like he's even like projecting that well.
Mhm.
Hero is at like 32.5, so I do prefer Hero. And Harden's like an 11 ADP.
Yeah.
I don't love it, but the next guy behind him is like, Q tag Brunson,
Right.
or Ahmed. So do I want to do Ahmed over Harden? Like this is definitely this James Harden Heat range. They're all in the same spot. Hardest part of the drafts today is figuring out what to do here.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. I think you articulated that very well. I think I mean Brunson's a no-brainer if he didn't have the Q tag. Um,
Yep. Yep.
I think Harden for me will still be at like 12 or 13. I think I'll take Almond ahead right now. Um, yeah, but then I think I'll push up that next tier like above Zubac. Like I think I like the Miami guys a little bit more than Zubac, but that's kind of just evergreen for me. Um, yeah, I never respect Zubac enough there.
I know it's tough, right? Like
Yeah. Here, I'll
could
bring up
because yeah, yeah. I don't really know what to do with Big Z here at all.
yeah, because this is the tough range to parse through. We're both in the camp of like, Edwards, JJJ, Scotty Barnes, and aka Scotty Bolway and Steph Curry need to be up here. And then it's kind of this big conversation. We're on the side of the fence that like we're playing Jaw out right now, or else you could justify putting Jaw ahead of like Harden there. But like this is a really tough range to parse through here. And then you could add the Fred Van Fleet. You can add the Julius Randles in a good spot as well there. So this is the toughest decision point on the slate is this kind of range between 11 and 20 right now.
100%. In the pick'ems, we've got James Harden 39, and 38, I think, for Amen. Yeah, so it does make it a little tricky, at least
Yeah.
for me, right? Just to like use those as a reference point. It's not easy. It's really not easy.
James Harden's put up like 25 through 30 fantasy points every fucking game since that last 60 burger. And then he randomly puts up a 50 and then he goes
Yep.
back to doing that.
Yep.
Him and Fred Van Meet, Dick Van Meet, holding hands right in the middle there. Fred Van Fleet and him, dude. Same guy right now.
Oh my god, that's so true, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And now he just has another guy that's going to soak up a bunch of usage on the floor alongside him now with Kawhi. And if Kawhi gets up to like 22 minutes tonight, like, you just give him that little bump. Well, like he's a 1.3 fantasy point per minute guy. Like we don't have splits. We don't have great splits with him, Zubac, and Harden and Powell all on the floor at the same time. But I imagine he's somewhere in the range of like 1.3 fantasy point per minute, something like that. Like that
Mhm.
usage just going away from Harden is like because Harden's low key a volume merchant. That's what he is, right? Like he needs the ball in his hand. And if you take those whatever call it 4 possessions a game away, and then you look at this game and you go, wow, this game is 4 or 5 possessions slower than the Rockets game. It's like, holy shit, we just took away like almost 9 possessions for James Harden, juxtaposed to Ahmed Thompson and Fred Van Fleet.
Yeah, I guess like the one thing I could maybe make a case for is like, does Kawhi help with Harden's efficiency and take some
Mm,
attention off of James Harden and allow him to, do more with, with the shots, even if they decrease? Like, is he actually going to be able to do more? Is he finishing assists more because there's less attention on Kawhi and less or more attention on Kawhi, less on Norm Powell type of
right.
deal, where Harden's able to actually, complete more assists in that way? I think you could actually like make a case for, but more often than not, though, it's going to hurt him.
Good show. Yeah. I think that was a good like counterbalance there to like set my mind right. I think you're really onto something there where it's like the efficiency metrics associated with him could bump. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I don't think it's out of the question.
Yeah, good shout there, Nez. Okay, let's talk about kind of like that whole range, I guess, is the obvious part, but I guess we could go one layer deeper in terms of the Clippers side there. Is anyone else worth touching in the last round? I guess it would only be Kevin Porter Jr.
Ooh, yeah, no,
Okay.
I have not considered it. I like Norm Powell today, but
Okay.
yeah, I mean, he's kind of like the end of a tier break. After him is where I start taking these Warriors guys. But
Okay.
yeah, no, that's it. And then like I think 6th round Kawhi is probably fine.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah,
if
only
we
on the
if
6 gamer.
Yeah, like if he gets like what do you think's like reasonable? Like reasonable
Well, here,
ceiling for
let
Kawhi? 26 minutes?
seems a little high after sitting last game, but I think it's
But
within
well, he
range
said
of
last game
outcome.
because of the fires. He didn't sit because of an injury. He withdrew from that game because he was worried about his family in
Oh, it
LA.
was a personal reason. Right. You're right. You're right. Good shout. Good callback. Yeah, I remember that on the injury report said personal. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. Yeah. No. Good shout. Okay. Yeah. You got me. You got me.
So if he
24 to
plays
26 ceiling.
26, yeah, like
Okay. I got a fun here. Okay. 31 minutes of Andrew Wiggins or 23 minutes of Kawhi tonight.
31 versus 23,
Yeah.
I will take Wiggins.
Okay. 28 minutes of Dennis Schroeder, or 22 minutes of Kawhi tonight.
Kawhi.
Right. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's go to this. Will be fun to do with his ADP. Um, 36 minutes of OG
Jeez.
with Brunson in.
Yeah.
23 minutes of Kawhi.
Kawhi.
Oh my god, that's crazy. Yeah.
Dude, that
I mean,
OG 50 ball was did that come
OG.
without Brunson? What?
Good question.
I
I
mean, because
can't
that
remember.
that that was so annoying, dude.
Bru-
OG does nothing for fantasy. Nothing
O-
for fantasy
OG
until he
projects
does.
better than his ADP every single night in mean projection, but he has like basically no ceiling unless he runs into like 5 stocks.
Yeah, like there's no like for winning, like that's cool.
Yeah.
He's never helping you win until he does. But that's that. But like you don't want
You,
to be the guy that wins with OG with the full healthy Knicks. I am dead serious. Like you're not getting a congrats from me.
will you mix in Mikal Bridges and OG in the last round today at all because
I
of
have
the
accidentally mixed in Mikhail.
just because of the ability for Brunson to sit, or just because it's a short slate?
Yeah, no, just a little bit of both, right?
Yeah.
Like where I took Mikhail, Rudy went, Devin Vassell went, and I was looking at Mikhail, Kawhi, Tobias Harris, Alex Sarr, Naz Reid, Bilal Coulibaly. These names suck, right? So
Yeah.
I'm just like, well, there is a chance that Brunson sits. Let me and Mikhail, I like his ability to put up a ceiling with a full healthy Knicks more than I like OG's ability to
Okay.
do that. I don't like Mikhail ever. But when I go through the 6th round and who was there when all my good 6th round pieces are gone,
Mhm.
oh, fuck, I guess I'll take Mikhail.
Yeah. Hmm.
I
Man,
don't
this
love it
sixth
when I
round.
when I click them.
Yeah, we got to get creative in this 6th round, man. There's a lot of like mean projection bros, and then there's like very little ceiling to parse through. Whereas like I could tell myself a story on ceiling on Friday's show, like I could tell myself a ceiling about
So,
like a short rotation of a guy playing 30 minutes or whatever.
so my in this order, like my 6th round, After TJD, Trace Jackson Davis, and Wiggins, you go to I got Jordan Poole back there. That's how much I don't like Jordan Poole. DiVincenzo, Chris Paul, Devin Vassell, Rudy Gobert.
I like Vassell. We haven't got there yet, but I like Vassell.
Yeah, sometimes they go. After that, I'm like, let me take the IQ tag, and then I'll figure it out at lock.
Sure. Yeah, that checks out. I love these ones in the chat. 45 minutes of Bam or 23 of Paulo. 50 minutes of Bam or 23 of Kawhi. Bam, triple overtime, or
how did Bam become our 2025 Mikal Bridges? How, or you know what I'm trying to say? How did he become this year's Mikal Bridges?
Because he just always overprojects his outcome, and then he's such a mean projection, bro, with no ceiling. Like he's hit that ceiling like one time, and it was like 52 fantasy points. It's gross, man. We're 40 games into the season. Oh, that's one last nugget I wanted to say while we were parsing through. Yeah, this is the 41st game this evening for the Knicks. Jalen Brunson has played in 39 of them. I'm just saying that. He's played through the Q tag multiple times this season. There was one day in which he sat with the Q tag. So I just wanted to say that with the Q tag this morning. This is kind of fun. 45 minutes of Bam or 30 of Asar. Give me fucking 30 of Asar and see what happens. Let's go.
Hell yeah. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
30 minutes of Asar and he's like my 102.
Yeah. People are taking the fake Nikolai Jovic, the aka the fake Joker. They're taking him. I will not be taking him today. I will swing for the fences on Jaime Jaquez again, man. The days in which Jaime Jaquez starts, we've talked about this ad nauseum, and it was one that we were ahead of both the last two slates there, where I'm not 100% sure he can find his way to starting today, but like he gives you like solid fantasy point per minute production, and then he gives you these outliers when he falls into minutes. So if I'm taking a third or fourth heat component in the last round, it's going to be Jaime Jaquez. Not Nikolai Jovic.
No. Good for Jovic for finally paying off his respectors. He was in my player pool, but I did not have a lot of them on that slate. Shout out to Magikarp. I think Magikarp had him in that lineup. But no, I agree with everything you just said.
Okay, cool. I think that kind of ties a bow on Clips and Heat. And then the last game on the slate, there will be Spurs and Lakers. And this one is NBA TV, nationally televised, which means it's probably ESPN in the States. It's NBA TV for me, which I think kind of matters just in terms of the fact that they moved this marquee matchup from Saturday, and then they moved it to now, and they want to keep those matchups together. And we've already had our spiel on why we think the LA teams play this evening. But yeah, that's kind of all we'll say on that one. I think the big stuff here is probable tags on LeBron and AD. I think we're playing it as if they both play. For whatever reason, Bronny James has an ADP today. He has a Q tag also with the illness. I have no idea why he has an ADP. He's played like 4 minutes of basketball all season long. Yeah, and then all the same guys are out for the Lakers. Jalen Hood-Schifino and Jared Vanderbilt and Christian Wood, who have basically been out the last 3 months or 2 and a bit there. The one thing I will point out on the Spurs side of the ball there, Nez, is the looming Q tag of Jeremy Sohan potentially returning here. They did kind of like the progression with him with a doubtful tag, and then I believe he had a doubtful tag going into that Saturday night game that then got postponed. And now he has a Q tag for this one. So slowly trending in the direction as if he can play. Oh, shit. What's that? that tripped me out, dude.
It's still going.
Okay. Then I'll talk about the Spurs side of the ball here. Basically, it's just Wemby goes in the first round, first overall consideration. I like AD over Wemby this evening. That's just personal preference. If you want to have both in your player pool, you have to put Wemby ahead of AD. But if you want to get exploitative, you can put AD over Wemby there. Nez had his narrative about LeBron potentially showing out for the Fire's narrative this evening there. But yeah, Chris Paul goes in the 5th and or 6th round, and Devin Vassell goes in the 6th round there. Nobody is taking Jeremy Sohan this evening, and that's about it on the Spurs side. Anything on the Spurs side that you like in particular, Nez?
We're good, by the way. That
Yeah, you're
that
good now.
noise from hell is gone. Thank you.
Yeah, you're good.
Speaking of which, dude, sorry, there was a fucking I think a coyote or something last night
Uh-huh.
in my neighborhood, and it wasn't like a howl. It was like a wailing noise.
Ooh.
And but it was almost but it was like a pattern. So I think it was like a call, like a hunting thing, but it was like echoing throughout my entire. Like woke up at like 3 a.m. My dog jumps in my bed, shaking in his boots, thinking he's about to get ate. Craziest thing in the world. I can't even think about. I can't even remember what it sounded like, but that I don't know why I just remember that.
We get
Think
them
about noises from hell.
a decent amount at like my sister's place and stuff out on the farm there, and like sometimes we won't let the dogs out at
Yeah,
night, like because there's no like fence and stuff. It's just like acreage kind of deal. So like you don't want to let them out there because they'll like chase after them or whatever. Most of the time they're pretty scared and they run away. But
yeah,
some of the neighbors take care of them, and
yeah.
get rid of them because they are just
Kind of
invasive.
has to. Yeah,
Yeah,
right. I mean, they'll figure it out. They're tough. It sucks, but
yeah.
they'll figure it out. But yeah, no, it sounded like a banshee. Honest to God, it was wild. But Spurs Lakers. Yeah, Wemby 101 right now. Projections will tell you it should be Anthony Davis, but let's be let's be humans about this shit, man.
Yeah.
It's Victor Wembanyama. I'm probably gonna take Wemby 101, and I am taking Wemby 101. Good luck if you're gonna be a robot about it, but I'm gonna take Wemby, dude. Wemby in LA, yeah. Let me take that.
Mhm.
And then yeah, I think one of the most interesting pieces for the Lakers is Reeves, man. Reeves just right
Oh,
now is
any sorry. Yeah, I wouldn't to jump to Lakers just yet. I wanted to get your thoughts on Paul Vassell Sohan conversation on the end of the.
I mean, I don't know. I think Vassell starting kind of nuked Sohan and made
Okay.
him not very playable.
Do you think they could both start this evening though?
Sure.
Yeah.
I just don't think Sohan gives us anything right now that we want to be drafting, even if
Okay.
he's in with Vassell playing. There's just not enough for Sohan to really do.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Vassell played 36 minutes, 38 minutes, 33, 32 when Sohan was out there. Sohan was playing 25, 26 overlapping in that Chicago game. So, yeah, Vassell still had the 33 minutes in one of those games that Sohan still had 26. And they did start alongside each other, I believe, in that one. Okay, yeah, sorry. Okay, I just wanted to figure that one out. Any other names, Spurs stuff that you would touch in the last round or no?
I mean, Chris Paul. I like Chris Paul and Vassell.
Yeah.
Um, but like I said, Sohan, I just don't think is one to get to.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of in the camp here with Nick here. I'd just take Vassell until it works. Yep. I kind of
Yeah,
agree
he's
with it.
a really good 6th-round pick.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the Lakers stuff now. Yeah, we kind of talked about the guys at the upper echelon there. Like you're just taking AD, you're taking LeBron and see what happens. But you wanted to bring up Reeves. Austin Reeves has an ADP of 22.3 this evening. Talk me through the Austin Reeves stuff.
Yeah, he just is very much undervalued every time the Lakers are on a slate right now. Austin Reeves plays damn near 40 minutes every time the Lakers play, and he touches the ball a ton. He gets boards, gets dimes, he can score, good on defense. He's a great player, and he's just one of those guys. ADP right now is never priced correctly when the Lakers are on a slate. He did let us down big time last time. That's part of the reason why I'm part of this downswing is I had a lot of Reeves the last time the
The
Lakers
Mavs game.
played. Yes, I believe so. And he
Yeah.
totally shit the bed.
Yeah,
But
he was minus 22 in 30 minutes with 12 points.
yeah, so that sucks.
Or minus 25, sorry, with 15 points. I was looking at Max Christie.
Yeah. Either way, dude. Not a great game for my guy Reeves and what should have been an awesome spot. So I'm going back to the Reeves well today. And I'm gonna have quite a bit of Reeves. I have him ahead of ADP. So he projects very well. I think he actually looks better than the Miami guys right now. So do with that what
Okay.
you will.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, and the Miami guys go with 4 or 5 spots ahead of that, considerably better.
Yeah, so I think it's a spot to lean into.
Cool. Yeah, I respect it. I like it. Nick getting the resident home guys
Okay.
bump to the game. He's going to the game this evening, which means Brunson is an absolute L word to play because he's got to show out for our guy Nick. Yeah, any love for Rui in the last round? Paid pointing out in the chat that Rui it's funny that Bronny James has a higher ADP than Rui right now. I mean, Rui's definitely going to start and could play 25, 28 minutes, something like that. That's basically what he falls into all the time there. Any love for Rui as a 6th round click?
Maybe in full court press.
Okay. Yeah. Nothing.
Not even, and like maybe not even then.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. No thanks.
All right. Cool. Anything else you want to say? Macro Lakers and Spurs.
Not exactly. This is pretty condensed right now with these two teams for my liking.
All right, I respect it. Any guys that could fall into starting lineups that we would like a little bit more, or some Q tags that are like deeper scroll the F downs that we would like a little bit more. Like I'm thinking maybe like Buddy Hield, Schroeder, something like that. Mikal Beasley could draw into the starting lineup for Detroit. Does that matter in the 6th round at all?
Malik Beasley.
Yeah. What did I say?
Mikal.
Nailed it.
Malik is always like kind of interesting right now. He's giving you like close to 30, which is like never gonna like win you a slate, but he can, he's definitely worth taking sometimes. Maybe not against the Knicks, but like, he's not he has a nice role right now. Like, just like maybe just like props to Malik and that's really it. I was looking at the Grizzlies here. Definitely one to watch. If and when Ja is out, like what they do with this lineup.
Okay.
What do you think? Because I think like if he sits, would it be Kennard or Aldama subbing in and like Bane at point guard?
I think it's a non-zero chance it's Scottie Pippen Jr.
Sorry,
yeah, I think it'd be Scottie, Bane, Wells, JJJ, Edie. That's what I would think. I don't think you have to play big against the Rockets. Like sometimes they do that. Like earlier in the season, they were doing the Santi Aldama alongside Jaren Jackson Jr. and bringing Edie off the bench. But I think they're pretty comfortable with the Edie starting stuff now, or Brandon Clark starting stuff. Basically, just like 1-for-1 splitting those minutes and splitting them 3 ways with Jay Huff, so they're kind of all unplayable. I think Scottie Pippen Jr. draws in for Ja, but just recognizing the fact that he never plays more than like 23, 24, and is probably only swap or 6th round clickable. I think the ceiling probably exists more for like Luke Kennard or for like garbage time Laravia, but that's a bridge too far probably this evening. So I think Kennard or Scottie Pippen Jr. would be the 6th round click if that happens.
Yeah, and even then, man, like you said, like Scottie Pippen, just that's
24 minutes, baby.
Yeah, it's something to stay away from.
Yeah, 24 minutes, and if he falls into some stocks, he can get you 40 fantasy points. But he doesn't fall into stocks, and he's not a stocks guy. So
yeah, just kind of that six steal game was so random.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, like I guess I think I'd be happiest to draft Luke Kennard if he found his way to the starting lineup, but I don't think he starts.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I kind of caught myself there. It's definitely Scottie Pippen if he starts.
Yeah, I think so.
Or if Josh sits. Yeah.
Any love for Max Christie?
I do think I agree with Man that he's a better click than Rui. And he's playing 30 minutes a night right now. No, thank you. But like Max Christie is definitely one to keep an eye out on. If there was an After Dark slate, I think Christie would definitely be a good pick on that.
Cool. Yeah, respect that in a big way. Just realized that I was clicking on the wrong Underdog tab. I was like typing in Max Christie, but I have 2 Underdog tabs. And one I was sharing and one I wasn't sharing. Nez, I think it's time we hop in some drafts here and see what it looks like.
All right. 10K at a first, man. Big one. Big slate.
We back. Anything big from last night that you noticed in the draft rooms and big risers or anything like that, combos wise, that you're just kind of like would be reiterating?
Nothing super noteworthy that
Yeah,
I saw, other than like I was getting like Trace Jackson Davis quite a bit in the sixth.
sure, yeah.
But I didn't do like a ton of uh run last night. But the ones that I did do, I was loving TJD in the sixth round, and that's a little bit harder at this point.
Steven chiming in. He's a Memphis Grizz guy.
Oh, let's go.
There we go.
Yeah, these six rounds are starting to all look very, very similar. The fact that you can still get Bane at pick 26 is really wild.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool for those that are able to capitalize on that.
Yeah.
And then RJ is still like available at like pick 21. Okay.
How what's the price tag? Nick saying he'll still draft falling jaw every time because he'll be distracted at the game anyways. But I'd ask you. Okay, let's make this pick first. I think I like Cade more than LeBron, but I could see either of those. I like the Sangoon spot a lot too. So I mean, you could tell me a story about any of these guys.
I'm taking Cade here.
Okay, sounds good to me. As you
Jaw
guys,
though? Jaw's like a 3-4 turn pick.
okay, sure. Yeah, I respect that. I did take him at 20 once this morning there when he fell back like this, but then I did realize I just kind of flipped the ADPs of 17 and 20 there because I took Jalen Green first or whatever. So I'm not sure I gained much, but I do think he's kind of fine to take in the fourth round because the fourth, kind of like after that Norm Powell line in the sand at like 25, the projections will look like decently flat. So I think even swapping to Scottie Pippen Jr. or Luke Kennard or something like that at pick 21, you're not dead. But if you're taking Ja at 12, you're drawing dead.
Yep. Yeah. That's definitely what should be other people's line in the sand as well.
Okay, cool. All right. I'm gonna look at the lobby real quick here to see. I haven't noticed. I don't have Discord pulled up. If Numi gave us an update of any Accord,
Yeah,
not
nothing
yet.
yet.
Okay. All right. We're back up on the clock here. JJJ goes there. I think this is Scotty Woolway for me, but you did say you like Stephon Curry.
I
Which
do like Steph, but I think it's just Scotty.
Yeah, I like Scotty. The prospect of having a point Scotty situation. Another conversation to have is getting overweight Scotty early here because we like the Warriors back end pieces more.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you can't put Curry with one of those pieces, but just in terms of constructions.
Sure. Yeah. No, it definitely helps with the decision making, I think.
Yeah, Joker saying that he just got Ja at 29. So,
oh man, that's wild. I mean, I get it, right? Like, yeah, nobody thinks he's gonna play, but I think you just do that.
Here's that murky range we were talking about. Nez, you also said Austin Reeves. Who do you want to take here?
Damn, dude. I think Jalen Green.
Ah!
Yeah.
Jalen Green it is. Yeah, this is that super murky range here. How do you feel about the Toronto pieces reaching ceiling in tandem? Like on this roster in particular, like I would steer clear of being like, okay, this is a time to push RJ up, and I would take one of these other options instead. But yeah, just kind of thinking out loud.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
We have the jaw conversation as well here. So
yeah, not yet.
Okay,
this is Reeves for me, but
Reeves or RJ? Yeah, so
I think Reeves, given the Scotty context, even though I do think that they can both get home, but like I think they do sort of hurt each other. I like Reeves.
Okay. Like it there. John Boy Beats takes Jaw at 22. Snap pick right after us, so he's taking him ahead of RJ still. Yeah, I mean, like that's a pretty nice team from the middle of the board there, except for James Harden's 25 points in the middle of it. If they all play there, but
I mean, I'm
like,
taking Steph over James Harden every single time. Every single time.
okay, yep. There goes Desmond Bain at 26. So you can still get the Desmond Bain with people assuming that Ja is still kind of factoring in here. Chris Paul, Trace Jackson Davis was a guy you said you liked. You said you liked Dante Ceiling. Wiggins is here. The Canada narrative. What do you like?
I like TJD.
All right, let's do it. Trace Jackson Davis, come on down. So we got ourselves a Cade Cunningham, Scotty Bullway, Jalen Green, Austin Reeves, Trace Jackson Davis team thus far. Here's a good one. 31 minutes of Dante DiVincenzo or 24 minutes of Kawhi Leonard?
Oh, Dante, man. Dante.
Oh, wow. Agree to disagree.
Yeah, you got to understand this new Dante, man. We're getting New York Dante right now.
This is true. This is true. He is getting the shots up.
Yeah, I mean, good spot too.
Dante goes right in front of us to sports winning 300. I know nothing about that. Yeah, so I do think there's some interesting conversations here. Yeah, I think Vassell is going to project the best of this bunch, but I really like the ceilings of Jaime Jaquez and Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
But we're taking Vassell.
I would.
All right. 32 minutes, 33 minutes, 35 minutes last time out, that sort of deal. John Boy Beats is going to try and land that plane with OG Anunoby. Mean projection, bro. You genuinely hate to see it.
Switch Sanders has a question for you.
Wait. That is Cunningham.
You heard him right, folks. There was nothing in the audio there that misconstrued what my guy was trying to say. Unbelievable.
Nez, let's rip another one of those, and then it, by the looks of it, doesn't seem like we got when Dinger now Dinger. We can keep an eye on it over the next couple minutes here. Maybe I'll throw out a bat signal and see. We just got two interesting pieces of news from Unabated. Unabated had Ja Morant not present at shoot around and downgraded him to 45% instead of 50% likely to play. And we just got the absolute Bamist Bam thing of all time, a Bam Q tag as of right now. So that makes me like that 6th round Jaime Jaquez a little bit more.
That hasn't hit the Underdog airwaves yet, so just another reason to get in on Unabated, man, because they are quick as shit with these downgrades, and you never know, man. If you're somebody that's doing batches at a time, you get that news first, and you adjust those ranks mid batch run. That's pretty huge.
Yeah.
Or just in general, man. Like I've actually one time caught our good folks at UD slipping when they announced Spida out on Unabated, quickly jammed a Garland pick 'em and got it in at the buzzer. So like if you are on your computer and you have their news notifications open in Discord, you can actually like get some
CLV.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Some Pick'em Lobby CLV. I imagine it's going to be gone on us now because this guy's M Longo 2005 is milking the fucking clock on us right here. I was going to try and click to the lobby and then click back, but it's going to be gone.
Does that do anything for Bam for you or for Hero for you?
I mean, I bet you if you looked on like the on-off splits, he just gets like an extra like 2.3 shots per game or something like that, and that can kind of matter. I think it's Cat with a bullet at number 3 today, right?
Yep, okay. Definitely.
Let's just see what happens with the Heat stuff real quick. imagine most of it's going to be down. Yep. All of it's down. We cannot beat Oaks. Oaks is too fast on the back end there.
Did you add that he does intend to play? Plan is to warm up with intent to play.
Interesting.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah, me neither. We get your boy Steph Curry here, Nez. I think that would be your click, unless you like the Amen Thompson stuff more.
It would be Steph for me.
Okay. I respect it. Steph's been playing some good ball.
He has been, man. And when you get him against Toronto.
This cracked me up. Jeez, I'm old Steven, and there's a baby Steven in here. Baby Stevie in here. Baby Stevie, proud owner of a dog bowl seat. That sounds like the most he's playing thing ever. Interesting. Jeremy asking if you could see the Minnesota-Washington game being closer than the spread indicates. Maybe. Probably not.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That was like, for that to happen, like, Poole has to nuke the slate.
Poole or Kuzma.
Yeah, or Kuzma.
If you think that, yeah, I would definitely get some Kuzma in your life.
Dude, 6th-round Kuzma is not a bad pick right now. I don't mind that.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so either.
I'm going to give this a refresh here just to see the Q tag appear on BAM. Hopefully that doesn't lead us to getting Jaw. It won't. I do think Tyler Hero should probably be the pick right now, given the cat stuff doesn't pair as well with the heart stuff. I do think Hero probably gets the push up, right?
Yeah, I think I would do Hero.
I mean, like, Hero's got a pretty fair price tag as is right now. And then if you find your way to like a BAM being ruled out, he'll project in the same range as Steph and Ahmed Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
trying to decide what to do with this Ahmed Brunson stuff. Goddamn.
Yeah, it's the toughest part on the slate there. Yeah. Blake with one of the greatest callbacks of all time. This is how you know he's OG around here. Is Kuz going to pull a Kelly Olynyk and split the slate wide open on the back end? One of the greatest callbacks. If you know, you know.
Jesus. Shoutouts Fags.
Yeah, shoutouts Fags for sure. Okay, so we could do the Jaw stuff here, but I think you're probably still going to be a fan of the Reeves and RJ stuff.
We could do RJ this time.
Yeah, I would ask if you want to flip it because of the game environment stuff with Curry, coupled with the fact that we didn't take Scotty Barnes.
Yeah.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both those things, I think, lean us towards RJ. And if we were out here using the S words, clankety clanking on our keyboards while we do our drafts, I think they would tell us that it wants us to take RJ.
Yep, I agree with you. Charlie Hennigan of show moments. So upset.
The GOAT. The GOAT.
Double callback there. All right, I'm thinking of a player. M. Longo. Just take Ja Morant, dude. He takes Ja Morant. Oh, I wasn't thinking of a player. Oh, never mind. Desmond Bain went to Baby 19. Stevie at 19. Never mind. I was thinking of a player. I do think Norm Powell's kind of that end of the tier that we were alluding to, Nez, but if you want to get funky with something else, I'm more than happy to do so.
No, it's Powell here. It's hard to get anywhere else right now.
All right. I do think end of a tier with Norm Powell, according to the mean projections. Amari following suit with you there with the Trace Jackson Davis stuff. Next up. Yeah, I do think there's some intriguing 6th-rounders here, but it is quite condensed.
It is very condensed right now. Mm-hmm. It didn't start like that.
Yeah. Everybody started funneling to the same plays. Wiggins, Vassell, Trace Jackson Davis. Yeah. I would like to take Gobert just because I actually think it's a good spot and it's an ADP faller.
I would take Gobert here.
Yeah.
Probably this is basically where I have Gobert ranked. I actually have him over the Jover, of course, but yeah,
Mm,
no, this is good for Gobert.
okay. I do like. I do have to make a concerted effort today to get some Jaime Jaquez in the last round, to get some Jalen Duren, to get some Kawhi in the last round. I've done a little Dennis Schroeder so far, but he healed one of those two. Could do that, and then Kuzma in the last round. Feels like I got to get a little bit of Kuzma in the last round too.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. Kuzma's one that I have not even like got to yet, but I do think that it's possible that that he's putting up a score that we need. Like the minutes are up. It's just like the poor shooting. Like the volume was there.
Tobias Harris homecoming game. He's from New York. There's an interesting one.
Nick's got the
He's got
got the
it.
New York State narratives, man, on
Um,
lock.
does Nez like Norm or Bane more? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Bane by like a lot.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, man.
Um, Jeff asking any love for Nas Reed in the last round? Could they do their best
Yeah,
Peyton Pritchard impression there and
yeah. I mean,
just be like,
we never really talked about Nas Reed that much, but like he's had some decent games back here. Like never like breaking slates, but against the Wizards, like yeah, I think Nas Reed is definitely fine in the 6th round for sure.
yeah, I'm trying to think. Say that game plays to the spread, that 14 and a bit. Like, what does the tail end of that ball game look like, right? Because they are pretty um, veteran laden, that roster. You know what I mean? So like for like blowout run, or maybe not even blowout run, but like that window of time where they're up 11 with 12 minutes left in the ball game and they give the bench a little extra run. There's a little extra minutes for Nas Reed, right? If things are going well at the tail end of the third, start of the fourth, and they just don't bring the starters back in because they're up 11, Nas Reed gets an extra 4 to 5 minutes, and they do their sixth man of the year bidding through Nas Reed and spot like that.
Yeah, I do think like 11 is definitely a spread that these guys are going to take seriously, though. I mean, not to
Okay.
like nitpick
Okay.
the hypothetical.
15. 15.
Yeah, 15, even a 15-point lead isn't safe. These guys wait till like 20 minutes with 2 minutes left is like when they'll pull guys. It's got to be, or like 30 with 5 type of deal. These teams have been letting their guys play, especially the T-Wolves, right? The T-Wolves could use an ass whooping, and handing out an ass whooping. I think would be good for them. They need to, you know, they need to piece together some wins. They're definitely a team that could use some good vibes.
Yeah, that's a good point. They are not free and clear of anyone around them in the standings. They do need wins. Um, Okay, cool. I'm trying to think of anything else that we might have missed. I think we've kind of nailed it
Yeah,
all.
kind of like a nice
Um,
size slate, pretty easy to get through. I mean, we didn't make any pickups yet, so there's always that.
that's true. Let's make a pick 'em for the hoop stuff. I think when Dinger is going to be Dinger another day. Now hasn't been put up yet. I will note that Scramble Returns and the Albatross are up in the lobbies now for my golf, my links bros. Um, your boy was out on the links mid-January, buddy. Mid-January out on the links here the other day. How you guys' storms doing down south? But
All right, buddy. You done?
yeah, I'm done.
Bragging
Um,
ass.
but yeah, it looks like no MLB just yet. But keep your ear to the ground for Wendinger. We were hoping Wendinger during show, but yeah, we shall see. Um, yeah, I'm looking at the ADP landscape right now. There'll be a ton to talk through with Dinger season. Maybe potentially something tomorrow. If Dinger drops, maybe I'll do like a solo in the morning of Dinger, and then Nez will do the hoop slate for the paywall, or vice versa, something like that in the future here. But let's tie a bow on today with a little bit of pick'em stuff, Nez, for the NBA slate, and then call her a show. I will pull up the unabated pick 'em stuff. Obviously, we only have market-based projections for another hour or so, but we can see if anything's popping there, and then I'll ask you if anything is popping in the NES model as of right now.
Yeah. At least for me, like we're seeing these these guys in the Grizzlies and the Raptors still like being put up as though Jaw and IQ are playing. So I kind of like those guys. That seems to be a fun spot to get to and just like lean in with our vibes here.
Okay. Yeah, no, I respect that. I think that's a good spot place to start today. I'll go to the Memphis stuff first. Desmond Bain, probably the biggest benefactor, at least the safest benefactor in my estimation.
Yep.
There. What do you like?
I mean, dude, honestly, just like his fantasy points.
Okay. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I mean, he can get there with Jaw as well. That's the nice thing about it, but that'll be too low if we do get a Jaw out tag there, and then we can go to the Raptors stuff. I'm imagining some Scotty Bullway and some RJ here.
Yeah. I think either one of these guys, and once again, it's the fantasy points. IMO would be my preference on these guys. You could also, look at like Scotty, like boards and assists as well. But I just like playing these guys. I like doing the fantasy point stuff.
All right. Well, those ones slightly negatively correlate, but they can coexist in a big way for sure, especially when the numbers aren't, um, super large there. We could just put these three together right now and put a nice little 6Xer going in there 50 for 300.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I like that. Get some of our conviction out of the way here. I do like a little bro science Andrew Wiggins stuff.
I'm into that.
Ellie 101. Don't bring back Ellie's his pains of the past.
Wait, we have all winter to talk through Ellie's absurd ADP. All winter.
Oh, fun shit. What did I shoot? You know I broke 90. Don't you worry about it. You know I broke 90. I didn't play very well, to be honest.
There we are.
Hart triple double at 9.11. That could break
9/11.
Oh, bad omen.
Maybe for the Knicks, that might be the sign.
Oh, the signs.
What are we pairing with this?
Hart triple double. I'm looking at Unabated right now. They're showing a lower on the hero stuff, but that could change. They're showing a higher on Cat points plus assists, but that doesn't pair great for us in this isolated instance. They're showing a higher on the Asir Thompson PRA.
Oh, say less.
Yeah, that one's it's close. It's only a 2% kind of like thing, but they have it a fantasy point or two ahead. So let's see what we got on Asar here. That could break right with him just starting. Plus, he's a good rates guy. Could get that done.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
There's kind of push the pace with Josh Hart. They kind of go hand in hand a little bit. Nice, man. There's our Josh Hart triple double.
That's our Nick Sweat.
Yeah.
For Nick in the Garden. That's the one that Nick wants. That one tonight.
Nick in the Garden is a strong narrative.
It is a strong narrative. It does have in the past there. Wow, Denver's going to hit sub-0 temps this weekend. My dad just went to Minnesota yesterday, and then he called me when he landed, and he's like, what the hell is this shit? Like, just with the weather. Like,
he wasn't prepared for that at all?
Well, he was definitely prepared. Like, he looked it up before, but holy smokes. Like, they do a general meeting there every single year kind of thing. So he's prepared for it, but every time it hits hard.
Yeah, dude. It's bad enough when we get like 20 degrees in Dallas.
Yeah, 20 degrees, man. Um. Oh, Absolute Sauce is Minnesota guy too as well. Good luck to you guys' Vikes tonight. You guys are good luck to Numi and his Vikes. I know Numi's wearing the laundry on his sleeve today.
Yeah, I think the reason the dinger isn't released yet is because Numi just keeps scolding in his room, in his living room.
He can't
He's been
touch the
doing it
mouse.
for
He can't touch the mouse.
he's been scolding for like 5 hours. The neighbors have called the cops on him, like, dude, we gotta get this guy to shut the fuck up. And he, oh,
Oh, it's so funny. Oh, that's the perfect way to end the show. Unless you got any more stuff in the Pick'em lobbies here, they're showing.
Yeah. What else you got?
Julian Champagne, Champagne lowers.
Yeah, why not?
Like just because of the looming Sohan coming back, and he's probably over projected to begin with. So they're showing that one as like the biggest edge with the market-based projection stuff right now, but it's nothing crazy. They're showing Mike Connolly a slight higher edge, which is kind of a fun one. And then you could pair it with Cat.
One of our viewers, Peter Overs, that asked, make a MNF pick'em.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds fun. I mean, I know he made a pretty good one yesterday that we played along with. That was Austin Eckler catches just didn't get home last night. Austin Eckler looked good last night. Like just
I
from a
know.
real life football standpoint.
I know.
Austin Eckler looked good.
He's gonna have to. I'm surprised it didn't get home, but you know who did get home is, and I try to tell people, Alamedy. Alamedy's Zacchaeus, man.
Yeah.
You got to listen to the fans in the stands, and they tell you that they get annoyed of a guy with how much they like him.
Yeah, that's true. Dude, you know what's okay, you know what's like super we'll talk about this tomorrow with the pod dynamics and what's changing after like the slate and stuff, and we'll walk through the slate that was, but like it was pretty interesting to just see all these kind of like quote unquote dust ball guys scoring for these chalk teams. That's going to help push like some like you're going to need some dudes who lost to push guys through. Like like Mike Evans. I mean, our Washington stuff is aging pretty nice. Like that stuff aged pretty nice. If we can get a little help from Rams or Vikings tonight.
For sure. For sure.
Okay, I'm going to pull up the unabated stuff for market-based projections because they do have it. Wow, they're already showing an edge on Austin Eckler lower stuff that is already out for next week. That's interesting. Wow. They like lowers on Kyron Williams rush attempts tonight.
Well, that's right up our alley. We liked that as well.
They like lower on rushing yards for Cam Akers, but that's weird because their projection is higher than the projection on.
You know, I meant to ask them about that because like I didn't that visually I was like I don't know that this is actually accurate, and I'm not sure like where that was coming from.
Lower on Justin Jefferson receiving yards, but like fractionally, that doesn't feel great.
Yeah, who wants to do a Justin Jefferson lower receiving yards?
They like Sam Darnold higher passing yards, but just fractionally as well. We could play something where it's like we play it as a 5 of like a pace up game where the passing stems through like Sam Darnold, Justin Jefferson, and insert other body, and then play a lower on Kyron and a higher on Puka.
All right, yeah, let's get that lower Kyron in there.
Like that seems, yeah, and I think we played the lower Kyron on Off and On the Clock too. So like we definitely like kind of liked it, but I think that one's dead now. Okay, lower on the rush attempts here. Aaron Jones higher on receiving. What do we got here? Not great.
18.5. You know.
Oh, there, yeah, on the yardage. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't like that. I love that.
No, I love that. Yeah. Okay, we got that. Puka. Like this is let's just do a traditional 5 and then let's do a boosty boost.
Okay.
Okay, Tucker, chill. Lower Kyron longest rush L word from our guy E Coxer. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's hand in hand with the Kyron lower.
Okay. Yeah, I think we got to run this twice with longest rush lower as well. Okay, how does this feel for a core? Higher on the Puka, lower on the Kyron, higher on the Aaron Jones, and then we add in Sam Darnold and Jefferson.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I could just scroll instead of. Wow, only 0.81 for the passing touchdowns.
Wow, they must think he's going to light it up, just like me.
Yeah, you're onto something here. Good boy, buddy.
Audio listeners think you're talking to me.
Oh, good boy, buddy. Nez is such a Mr. Good boy. Hi, Numi. Is Numi dropping by to say when dinger, now dinger?
He might be. But we got to finish this.
Yeah. Okay, Sam Darnold. Yardage, Nez? Or
yardage? Like it really hurts this with Aaron Jones.
Okay. Completions? We're getting a slight dock, though. Fantasy points.
Okay. That seems like it didn't do anything at all. Nice.
Yeah, that didn't dock us at all. And then Justin Jefferson on the higher combined. Higher receptions. Slight dock. Higher yardage. Slight dock.
Yeah.
Touchdowns, even money. Fantasy points correlation. Slight dock. Which do you prefer? We can get to 17 or 16.2.
Let's do the yards. Let's do the yards.
Let's do the yards. Okay. Receiving yards, 94.5. 17.25 on that one.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. That sounds really cool to me. I like that. And then I really like using that Kyron one and then maybe like boosting it with like something. Okay, here we go. When dinger, now dinger. Holy smokes. Okay. I know Nez has to go and I have some stuff I have to do, but I am a man of the people, Nez.
Are you going to run this?
I'm going to click it right now. And if you guys fill a lobby instantly while we build this last pick 'em, I'm going to do a draft with the homies. When dinger, $1 million to first.
No, 100K to first.
Or sorry, $1 million to first. $1 million prize.
Winner take all, $1 million dinger.
Snap filled. All right, when dinger, now fucking dinger. I'm gonna bullshit my way through a dinger here with the people. 1 million to first in our hearts. Nez, is there anything else you wanted to do for Monday Night Football Pick'em that would be fun there to give it like a spicy boost one? Because I did like that longest Kyron lower.
I would do Kyron longest lower.
Yep.
Let's get that in there. 15.5. Yes, sir. And I would do I like doing an Addison boost, man. You know, everybody's focused in on JJ.
Sure.
I think you can either boost receiving yards or get crazy and say Jordan Addison catches 2 touchdowns.
Let's do that. Let's do Jordan Addison 2 touchdowns can give us like a 6-3, right?
Yeah. All
right. Let's do it. Jordan Addison 2 touchdowns. I think if you guys are building like something sharp, I do like this. I do think this was a really good shout from whoever said it in the chat. E-Coxer said it in the chat there. I do think, man, we remember those stats from the middle of the season when we were going, oh, Nez has to make the first pick with me. First pick of Dinger
Oh, look
season.
who's up. Ellie De La
First
Cruz.
pick of Dingers season, Nez. Are
Are
we
you really
taking?
gonna take Ellie over Tatis?
No, I'm going to take Fernando Tatis Jr.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, especially with the outfield designation there. But I did have to get you on for to make sure we took this first pick together.
Yeah, I made a crazy pick in the bullpen, but I do think I'm going to end up with a lot of Jarren Duran this season.
Ooh, that's fun.
Lead off Jarren Duran.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want that. I want that a lot.
Life.
Yeah, dude. He passes the eye test, and I don't think that he's like I don't see anything about his game that's like super fluky, right? I think he's just like he smacks the shit out of the ball. He's super fast, hits ahead of some big boppers. I like him.
Never forget who was 2 years ahead on Jarren Duran.
So early.
Never forget.
Early.
I mean, we were talking about him in that World Baseball Classic, and it's like, dude, he's gonna play center field for Mexico. This kid's kind of nice. Like, just pay attention. He was in the minors at that time. Ooh. Yeah. Are you got some time to stick around here for this one, or do you want to dip out while I do this? Because I really gotta take a piss if I'm gonna make it through this whole baseball draft. So I need to either.
I can cover for you while you take take a pisky. Let's
Are
you gonna queue up a pick for yourself at least?
I was gonna try. Oh shit. Do we have to?
No, you could take you can take I mean you can take a hitter.
How about Matt Olson?
Okay, yeah.
I think the Atlanta stacks are going to be one of like the CLV ones that get more expensive because Acuna will never be cheaper. Shit, Grill Belichick already took Acuna. There goes my bro science. Damn it. I was like, Acuna is going to be a 3rd round pick right now, but he's already not.
He was really cheap in the bullpen, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a ton of Acuna, man. That's the week 17, bro, in me. Just thinking through. Good. It is kind of tough because like I think Acuna advance rates are going to be really poor. It all obviously all depends on how much time Acuna is going to miss, but you know, you really should be. I don't think it's wrong to think to yourself, okay, if I am building an Acuna team, I need to bolster this outfield. I need to make sure that I get there. So you are somewhat building suboptimally because when you get to the playoffs, your outfield is going to be super, super good, probably too good, probably too much capital dedicated towards it. But I would be certain that I'm getting these Acuna teams in because it's not out of the question that you are advancing like a single digit percentage of your Ronald Acuna teams, no matter what. So until we get good news on Acuna, I would be loading up outfield if I'm building Acuna teams, and you know that could be suboptimal. But I think if you're going to take a risk, it's okay to balance that with some safety. John, maybe something for you to talk about after we make this pick and I head out was like building Acuna teams optimally. In my opinion, I think requires some overdrafting of outfielders
to cover the basis of you know, like it's like taking 7 instead of 6 and not doing like hyper fragile kind of outfield.
Correct.
Yeah, I'd agree with that for sure.
I just think advancing Acuna teams, like I don't want to like underestimate how hard it's going to be to advance Acuna teams, assuming he misses like 30 games. Mm-hmm. I don't even know the timeline.
That's just the initial. Well, there was some bullshit early that was like maybe for spring. Oh my god, for real, Dan? There goes my super sharp get ahead on the Atlanta stacks. Wow, James Woods ADP. Holy shit. We could
Yeah,
do Michael
yeah,
Harris as a stack partner, or we could
yep,
just yeah.
yeah. Grab Michael Harris. He's gonna end up flipping James Wood.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But James Wood, man, I had no. Did you know how many? I didn't realize how many stolen bases he had
Dude's
in
a stud. He's a stud.
in 80 games.
He low key looks like rookie season Josh Bell.
Yeah,
Like just
yeah.
aesthetically. Yeah.
But that swing,
Yeah.
yeah,
Kind
very
of
similar swing from that side of the plate.
yeah, kind of long through the ball, similar swing from that side. He's got oppo power because he's late on like a lot of stuff right now, or at least I noticed that last year when I was
Yeah.
just watching him. I don't know if the data backs that up. I haven't looked at like savant stuff or anything. But this is my first fast draft of the year. I did 15 slows, I think, for the bullpen, and then this is my first fast draft. So yeah.
Well, make sure you let me give you a good pirate to draft. You already saw me draft him before, but make sure you give yourself a little late round pirate pitcher there.
Oh my god, what's his name again?
I'll throw it in the private chat for you so nobody steals them. But no, you're right, man. James Wood was all over the place spray chart wise.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and head out, finish
All right,
my
buddy.
stuff for the day. Have fun in this Dinger draft. We're gonna have a million more to come, but it's a great day. It's a great day. Look at all these sickos, man,
I know,
in
right?
this room. This is amazing.
All these red badges that need this CLV. Let's get it.
So awesome. All right,
All
have fun,
right.
guys.
Peace, Des. Oh man, this is fun. All right. Okay, so we got this Fernando Tatis Jr. start here. I don't know. What do you guys think about this Kyle Tucker versus Fernando Tatis? Obviously, Tucker moving to the Windy City there. Um, Pretty similar hitting conditions to Houston outside of those crazy games that we get with the wind blowing out. Grill Belichick ripping my heart out by taking Mike Trout there. I mean, Mike Trout could have aged like wine in that fourth round. That feels good. Not a lot of purple off the board yet. 3 pitchers through 3.5 rounds, something like this. I mean, maybe turn me up with 4 infielders slamming infield to start here. The reverse meta, but he obviously has some late round outfield targets. I think Manny Machado stands out to me as a stack partner. This will be replicated a decent amount here. Holy Lawrence Butler's ADP. Maybe that's something to look into. Sacramento, like obviously Oakland moving to Sacramento, hitting environment stuff changes drastically for them because they had one of the worst home parks for home runs. So maybe like some of the projection models are going to reflect a little bump in that. I know the Stacking Dingers guys have done a couple shows. Shout out to Dark Sheep, Billy Jones, and our guy Chris. I had their here. I'll share this with everyone in the private or in the group chat. There, share that with everybody. There, that is their initial rankings that they did for the previous contest. There, and they did a video on it and walked through them the other day. There, so you can see there's some stark differences between everybody. Everyone's lower on Ellie. The projection models will always be lower on Ellie, just in a vacuum. Maybe I can give this a zoom or two. Is that better? Yeah, there you go. Let's see. One more. There we go. Yeah, so the hashtag model bros are always going to be like lower on the Ellie stuff. But Ellie, man, you got to remember that this is a 2-week contest in the playoffs. You know, like baseball is treated as like a cumulative scoring contest, but this is football style scoring for baseball specific. And Ellie has one of the highest ceilings for anyone who plays the daily contest. Ellie has one of the highest ceilings in a week than anyone else on planet Earth. So ADP does make a little sense, but I will definitely be pushing some of the outfield options above. Fernando Tatis Jr. is the first one that stood out. It stood out to me in the bullpen as well there, and it stands out to the Stacking Dinger guys as well, where they have him pushed up a little higher than that. Ronald Acuna is going to be very polarizing. As you can see, Dark Sheep has him at 42. The other guys have him at 15 and 23. So he's going to be an interesting component to talk through all season long. I mean, there's no all draft season long, that is, but there is no higher kind of like ceiling shot outfielder than him, right? Well, a lot of Atlanta sticks going early. Some things never change. They're all higher on Ketel Marte than industry. I mean, like, or than ADP rather. Ketel Marte, man, he's just such a good ball player. Should have been an all-star. Was it 2 years ago that I was arguing about that over and over again until I was blue in the face? Garrett Crochet as SP5. Wow. No pitchers going off the board here. We're kind of hitting that sweet spot with starting pitcher here, but this would not be a Badge Bros John stream if we did not take the tool shed, Luis Robert Jr., LRJ, Big Bob, Bobby Jr., the real Bobby Jr. Refuse. APS and Spencer Strider going to be back for opening day? Absolutely not. I don't think so. But like, I think his timeline. Let's see what the stacking dingers have him at. I know they didn't go like all like 200 and something here, but we can just see where they have him at. If Strider was back for opening day, like they have him at ADP is 92. Chris has him at 72. Sheep has him at 92. Billy Jones has him at 108. He's going to be a polarizing one for sure. Because like you want to talk about isolated ceiling in a week, it's very similar to like the conversations we had last year with Jacob deGrom, where it's like if you're looking for ceiling strikeouts in a week, in a 2-start week for like the playoff format that this is, man, look out. I don't think anybody's done the full playoff or the full breakdown yet for like the week by week schedule, but I imagine someone's going to put that together shortly. We could kind of do some guesswork associated with it. Let me look here just to confirm when the playoff weeks are and stuff. I think a lot of people are breaking away from this, John. So John's asking like the standard meta for building teams. I would say the equivalent of football's like 2-6-8-2 has now shifted to become 7-7-6 instead of 8-6-6. But baseball, it's all about where you allot your capital. And a lot of that stems from how you spend your starting pitching capital in general. So the closer I get to the season, the more likely I will like take some crazy shots. Chris Sale kind of like stacks with our Atlanta stuff. Not that pitcher stacks truly matter, but they do have a slight correlation boost when you're looking at like a 1v1. I'm scared about the DeGrom inning ceiling. Yamamoto, 6-man rotation. Let's take Nola. Nola just feels like the absolute dog workhorse every single year. He feels like a safe front end ace to your staff. I mean, Sale outperformed his ADP in a huge way last year. He'll probably outperform Nola on a start-to-start basis, but he also has a lot more injury track record. Same with DeGrom. Yamamoto, 6-man rotation for the Dodgers kind of scares me a little bit. It caps the ceiling on innings in a big way. Alex Bregman still without a baseball team. Yeah, I gotta start paying a little more attention to the draft here. Okay. Yeah, so I think my standard builds will err towards 7-7-6 because the 7, I want to fill my flex with infield because the strength of infielder is like so much more apparent the later you get into drafts because you're dealing with like those big bopping corner infield outfielders or those infielders first base and third base. And when they're all grouped together, I definitely want to find ABs that are from like my big beefy baseball boys because home runs are just worth so much. And like stacking dingers, as it alludes to, is we're looking to stack dingers. So like Christian Walker stands out in this range here, especially in that Houston lineup with the Crawford boxes. Woo! Holy. Willie Adames in San Fran now. Obviously a huge park downgrade for him. Dylan Cruz propped up as the rookies always. Matt McLean, man, that was a bad one for us last year. Like just for us as in everyone. Rookie, there's some suspicion that he'll sign in the next week or so. I saw Jay tweeting that one out earlier. Colton Cowser could lead off for Baltimore, and they're bringing the walls in a little bit there. That one stands out, but I think we got to go SP. Let's go to good hometown boy here. Let's get our guy George Kirby. Seattle could have another nice rotation this year. Best pitching park in baseball year over year for the last 3 years there. So I think a lot of our base principles, especially as I'm noticing like pitcher is kind of like falling in these rooms. I think a lot of our base principles are still going to apply here where like we can push pitcher, but we still want to have like one ace. Yeah, these early builds, we're going to gravitate towards. Man, that Tatis price is nice. Yeah, but these early builds, we're going to gravitate towards probably 7-7-6 and having 3 outfielders before round 6 and having 3 pitchers before round 11. I think that would kind of be like my initial rule of thumb right now. Yeah, I can't believe Dinger's already here. Me too. No, yeah, I'm sorry you missed the draft, dude. Get in the next one. Which teams play the most in the finals? I haven't done this research yet. I can look at that. Timmy suggesting that the 7-6-7 had the highest advance rate the last 3 years. That checks out. That checks out. I think a lot of that has to do with the profile of outfielders that have hit late in the last 3 years. And I will nail that right now. 3 years ago, Julio Rodriguez smashed advance rates because he's a back end outfielder who ended up pushing up to the 150s and then, broke the slate in quotations. 2 years ago, Corbin Carroll, same thesis, 100 ADP all the way up to like 25 ADP by the end. Last year's thesis, everyone thought it was Wyatt Langford. Did not turn out to be Wyatt Langford. It was Jarren Duran. Jarren Duran as an outfielder. And what do all those 3 players have in common? That they would find themselves on 7 outfielder builds from sharp builders because those are the archetype of players you're looking for late, and you would always take a 7th outfielder to cover that. So that's what that explains 7-6-7 to me in a big way. I might not be 100% correct on that, but that I think I'm directionally accurate for sure with that. A lot of fun names. A lot of fun names to click here. Yeah, I guess the Spencer Strider is like I just can't click them yet over like some of these names like Hunter Green, Luis Castillo as well. Like Luis Castillo has like had a top 5 ADP or top 5 round ADP the last couple times. Junior Caminero, that's a fun, ceiling name to click down there. Josh Naylor getting a ballpark upgrade to Arizona. Although that being said, Cleveland played really well for left-handed power last year when they put in those new kind of like wind tunnel that was going out there. What they put in the new gradient above the wall, above the stands there. Oh, here's a good one. Another one from Timmy. Yeah, good shout here. That Rooker was a stud in the late rounds last year. Love that. Absolutely love the milkman Colton Cowser. Yeah, man. Good baseball player. He's going to play every day. Going to play center field. They probably don't platoon him at all. I guess I should get baseball roster resource up here just so when we're getting a little bit deeper in the player pool and stuff. But man, fucking I love drafting baseball. I think drafting baseball is hands down my favorite sport to draft. Someone asked me the other day if I had to eliminate sports from my life, like which ones I would eliminate. NBA is so fun for like betting, gambling, fantasy sweat. Football is so fun for like the marquee day, right? Like Sunday, or drafting all season long or like all year round, being speculative and talking about football. But baseball is by far my favorite to watch on a daily basis and to draft on a daily basis and to draft for season long. Baseball, I fucking love baseball. Gets me giddy. Hockey would be the one that I keep for the rest of my life to play. Ezekiel Tovar going there. Actually, let's see what Tyro Estrada's ADP is. I've always been a Tyro Estrada guy. Doesn't have an ADP. Going to be playing in Colorado. Presumably plays second base every day. That feels like a cheeky one. Max Fried. Lefties mitigating. Oh, man, we got to take Royce Lewis. Royce Lewis, in terms of like sample size, man. Like Royce Lewis on the daily slates will be every single day a top 15 pick. Obviously, not a great ballpark. Obviously, not the best lineup in the world. But like on a per plate appearance, like fantasy monster style, like he is way up there. Him and Victor Robles, for whatever reason. Yeah, Estrada owes me money from last year too. So we're going to get it back with him. Okay, here we go. Aaron's saying that Arizona's bad for lefty power. Downgrade to Naylor Stingers. I thought Arizona was fine. Like I thought it was like net neutral. And I thought Cleveland was bad to the opposite way. Like Cleveland's been bad for years until last year's wind tunnel stuff. I thought it was fine for left-handed power. D-backs park factor, top 10 in the league. Switched to left-handed. Rolling average for the last 3 years for left-handed power. Definitely a little downgrade, but it's basically the same as progressive over the last 3 years. Let's see home runs. Isolate for home runs. Dead last for left-handed home runs over the last 3 years. Wow. Good shout. Good shout. But there's a lot of noise in that sample too. Like what left-handed sticks were there? How many left-handed starters were in the rotation for the D-backs that didn't allow, or opposing left-handed pitchers did they face? Yada yada, right? So like less lefties in the lineup. But if we did it by like a per plate appearance basis, wow, there you go. 26.5 thousand ABs per plate plate appearances. Compare that to Great American that is number one. We're probably going to be on the clock here. I had to jump back here. Good shout in the chat. Good shout in the chat. Who said that? Aaron. Good shout in the chat. Grayson's fun, but the walls are moving in. Elliot Ramos, that feels priced up. Let's take Bo. Do we like Bo? Let's take Senga. Senga feels fun. Senga missed like all of last year with that elbow stuff. Came back for a little bit of that postseason or tail end of the regular season there. I just like clicking Senga's name. That's probably a bad pick compared to some of those other names that were up there. Elliot Ramos had some good stretches last year. So did Kerry Carpenter. That Detroit team could be improved, right? They look good pushing into the postseason. Tough ballpark to hit in for the beginning of the season, just given how cold it is. Not it, it I mean, it's not a hitter's park in general. But like Parker Meadows came alive. Riley Green's kind of nice. They got Matt Vierling back. Colt Keith, full-time ABs. Yeah. Bryce Miller goes. Bo Bichette, man. Bo Bichette's like, man, right-handed power's gone to die in Toronto. We talked about it so much last year. Svi saying if the Tigers sign Bregman and Flaherty, they're very live. I like that. I like that. I think the rumors right now with Bregman are, I mean, Bregman would just be such a Tigers signing. But like Bregman fits. I mean, it's hard because they have Raffy, but he fits well with Boston, does he not? With that monster. Jake Berger, there's another per plate appearance guy who's in a big way. I wonder how he impacts Josh Young's ABs this year, having 2 third basemen there like that. Wow, Jackson Holiday at 125. That feels like a good pick. Volpe, no thanks. Yandy Diaz, I love Yandy Diaz. Always leads off, hits for power. I like Yandy Diaz. I just talked myself into Yandy Diaz. I love Yandy Diaz. Hits the ball so fucking hard. His batted ball data is so nice. Plays every day. Always leads off or hits in the top 3. There's the Schwellenbach pick. Schwellenbach, if you guys remember from the Daily Streets during the season, skipped AAA, came up from AA. He's only been pitching for like 2.5 years, I believe, 3 years. Don't think they want to move for call. Or what did I say for call for? They don't want to move Raffy. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where you put him. That was a good one. Anytime Arizona played last year, the game was like 10-13, like the Rockies games. Yeah, it did seem that way in a big way. Are we buying pitchers coming off injuries like Sandy, Woodruff, McClanahan? Yeah, for sure. I mean, I got to get deep in the weeds here on like, I mean, this is my first draft, obviously, but like I only did 15 of the bullpen stuff, and we've been doing all the other sports and stuff, so I do have to play catch up on some of the stuff. But like, I mean, Sandy was an NL Cy Young the last time we saw him pitch. Now everybody thought Sandy was going to be a regression candidate anyways because of some of his ground ball metrics and stuff like that. So maybe that's noteworthy. Jonathan India moving to KC, obviously a park downgrade, but actually a home run downgrade, not a park downgrade. Parker Meadows leading off all year. That could be fun. Nolan Jones, we were taking in the 3rd round last year. He's way back here in Colorado still. Mackenzie Gore, some decent strikeout stuff. Why does nobody want Joe Ryan? I want Joe Ryan at this price tag. I guess he's just kind of boring. He missed time last year. People caught up to the fact that his big amendment and change last year was the slider. And then I think people caught up to it a little bit later in the season. Pretty solid team right now. Like, this is just kind of like a play the best plays, click at what we're clicking, do a little bit of stacking. Obviously, I haven't done any schedule research. I'm sure there's probably some people playing at Coors in the last week of the season that I should be boosting, and or downgrading if they're pitchers. So I haven't looked at any of that stuff. When would the finals be? Does anyone know the dates offhand for like when the finals would be? What's the finals week? Let's just pick like an arbitrary date in August. Does anyone know in the chat when the finals week is? Let's see if it's in the info tab. Uh, 100K to first. Yeah, it just lists it as weeks. So I don't know which week of the season, because it's like football jargon. Week 22, week 23 of the season is. Let's see. Week 22 NFL or MLB. There you go. No. They don't list them like that. Okay. Click on the rules and scroll down. All rules. All right. '22, '23, first 17 weeks. All right, I got to go figure it out on our own accord. It's all good. There is an opening day series in Tokyo again this year. That's kind of fun. Shoot, we're back on the clock here. Sean Mania goes there. Mitch Keller, shout out to our guy Nez. We got 5 pitchers. I mean, this build is pretty strong at pitcher. I think we got to start thinking about some outfield potential. Does Stanton lose playing time this year? Probably. Oh, shit. All right, let's take Stanton. I don't know. Stanton going in the 150s. Like, if you can find 30 home runs in the 150s, that doesn't seem bad. Does Stanton lose playing time this year to Jason Dominguez? What are we going to see every day? Jazz Chisholm. Jazz Chisholm is going to be hitting near the top of that lineup and playing the infield. Volpe will play the infield. Yeah. Why does roster resource look so different this year? There we go. All right. Now we're back. Okay. I'll be bouncing back and forth between the stuff here. Connor Norby, part of that big trade last year with Baltimore, goes. Stanton DH every day. Okay. Stanton DHs every day. That'd be nice. Numi's posted side contests already. Holy smokes, what a legend. He also says he sent me a picture in the Discord. I'm doing a million things right now. Sorry, guys. Trying to figure it out on the fly as I figure this out. Man, Robbie Ray came back for some nice weeks there as well. Grill Belichick getting Robbie Ray in the 13th. He had some ceiling outings. And it's asking me to log into Discord for some reason. All right. As if I know my password. Okay. Confirmed September 1st through 14th. All right. We can look at the schedule in half a second then. Josh Young. Michael Tolia staring me in the face. That's kind of fun. Wonder how many Michael Conforto ABs we get in that loaded Dodgers outfield. The Dodgers are so deep, man. It's going to be so hard for fantasy's sake. Taj Bradley. Luzardo to the Phillies. That's kind of nice. I can't quit Brandon Pfaadt. Let's do it for Newmy. Buxton, baby. Let's do it for Newmy. Newmy drops the dinger so that we can draft Byron Buxton. We got ourselves a 5-4-5 right now with Stanton and Buxton. What year is it? What year is it? All right. September 1st. The Giants are at Colorado. Toronto is at Cincinnati. Some interleague play at Cincinnati. Toronto instantly looks better in my mind. San Francisco, Colorado gets 3 home games. Okay. Let's move to the next series. Bunch of off days on the Thursday. San Diego at Colorado. Fernando Tatis Jr., ladies and gentlemen, is a top 5 pick. You get a full weekend series of Fernando Tatis Jr. at Colorado in September. Fernando Tatis Jr. over Ellie De La Cruz. I mean, Ellie always gets the home park, but maybe he's got the other contests up. Frozen Rope, one of his favorites he's ever cooked up. Tatis may not be a J. No. We're talking about Fernando Tatis Jr., the Padre. We don't think he's going to be a Padre? Yeah, Guerrero. That makes sense. Yeah. Guerrero would be the one that is a little scarier if you're looking at that Great American Small Park matchup. But Colorado, I mean, Michael Tolia, all he does is hit for extra bases. Let's see some of these picks that the smart guys are making. Tolia, Muncy at 177, Cal Raleigh get 30 home runs at pick 4. I think I'm be way down on catchers this year, just in general, in terms of playing time. I might have like 5 to 6 in my player pool. I know Will Smith goes really late, or at least he was going really late. Let's take Ryan McMahon. I like Ryan McMahon. Just puts up 1,100 every single year. Doesn't get enough respect. Every time he's healthy, he hits right in the middle of that lineup. We can backstack him with Estrada in the last round. I wonder how Brian De La Cruz shakes up the Atlanta outfield. Like, Brian De La Cruz is going to play a decent amount when Acuna's gone, but then what happens to Jared Kelenic versus Brian De La Cruz? That becomes a platoon in the outfield there. So this Brian De La Cruz ADP is probably a little frothy. Man, there's some good pitching still out here. Like Brandon Pfaadt, high strikeout rate guy that's just sitting there. Like, this is where you take some swings, but I think it depends on the roster in which you've created. Like, we have a bunch of stable workhorses right now, with the exception of Senga. Like Nola, Kirby, Luis Castillo, Joe Ryan. Like, those are like pretty solid. I think we could take a little bit of variance on this roster here. Shoot the moon on some of these back end arms. Let's take Woodruff. If Woodruff was starting opening day, I mean, pitchers and catchers report on February 10th. If he reports and he's throwing side sessions and he's ready for, I mean, let's not call it opening day, but like, let's say he's ready at that like month into the season there, he should be going in the 5th or 6th round. Stable workhorse, aka John. Nothing flashy. Colorado sucks. I'd rather draft you on my team than any of them. That's pretty funny. I mean, Colorado does suck, but like, the thing is, when we play the dailies in the middle of the summer, and it's June 23rd, and Colorado is on the slate, on an 8-game slate, they're going to have the highest implied run total. You know, it's just the way it is. Or most likely the team opposing them will have the highest implied run total. And, you know, we can't lose sight of the fact that we're playing fantasy baseball, right? Like, here. Park factor, the last 2 years, 112. It doesn't play up for home runs, but in terms of run scoring, 125 park factor compared to 114 for Boston. Great American Small Park, 110. People go to Colorado and they just score a shit ton of runs, right? It's the Coors Field of the MLB, aka the Ford Field of MLB. So yeah, I mean, if you see who they're playing, that's why the schedule stuff matters in a big way, because we'll start doing little tweaks and boosts for parks, and especially later in the season, like wind blowing out Wrigley game, highest implied game on the slate for sure. You know, Great American Small Park game, highest run total on the slate. So that's why those Blue Jays games at the front end of that schedule are going to look kind of nice. Dodgers at Baltimore. Walls are moving in a little bit. In left field, that is. Let's go to the second week of the finals there. We're going to have to make a pick pretty soon here, though. Second week of the finals, like St. Louis at Seattle. There's a downgrade to your St. Louis stacks. Colorado at Los Angeles. There's a downgrade to all the Colorado at home stuff I just said. That's funny. Let's just take Xander because I don't want to click around and think a lot. There's probably way better picks available, but let's just get a 3 stack there with the San Diego stuff. Now we have Manny Machado, we got Xander Bogaerts, and we got Fernando Tatis Jr. as a 3 stack. We got a little stack here with Michael Harris and Matt Olson. Should be hitting pretty close in the lineup. Byron Buxton, Royce Lewis stack going on. Use Lou Bob as a one-off. Giancarlo Stanton, maybe there's like a late stack Yankee, but I doubt it. Most of them will go early. Austin Wells, I mean, he showed some pop for a bit there, and then he was the worst hitter on planet Earth for the last 2 months and postseason. Austin Wells in the last round, probably a little thin unless the Yankees have a nice schedule. No, I'm not going to hop in another one, Noah. Not today. We've been live for 2.5 hours already. I got to do a little bit of NBA stuff myself, and I got to do some real life stuff as well. Back tomorrow, though. Back tomorrow. I think tomorrow is going to be paywall for the NBA slate. I don't think it's a dog bowl day, or maybe it is. I should check. I should just have that schedule stapled to my forehead. It's kind of okay. Shit, we're on the clock. I'm gonna need another outfielder. Wow, Dalton Varsho way down here. That kind of feels like a good pick. Victor Robles feels fine as well. Yoshida feels kind of nice. Let's do a one-off with Varsho. Going to Great American Small Park. I think Varsho should probably be going a little bit higher than this, but it's hard to tell without doing a full deep dive. Carlos Correa as a third stack partner. Jake Cronenworth stacks for us. Willie Castro stacks for us. You guys know I'm always a sucker for Brandon Lau. Benintendi if we needed a break glass in case of emergency outfielder for this team. Nez told me to draft. He's got a sneaky pirate. Bubba Chandler. There was a guy who played. What was his name? Okay. If you guys can name this, you guys are true sickos in the baseball streets. A Royals. I think I remember who it is. A Royals legend. He was a former 101 question mark. He was like way up in there. He's probably around my age. His career's over now, but he was a big boy. He was a first round pick, first name Bubba. First name Bubba. Bubba Starling. Bubba Sterling? Something like that. And they made a big trade with the Rays that incorporated him, I think. There's your Mr. Good Boys in the chat. Anyways, whenever I see the name Bubba and baseball, let's take Estrada. I'm drinking my own Kool-Aid with this Coors stuff. They're going to be without Brandon Rogers, right? They're moving on from Brandon Rogers. That's a thing, I believe, if memory serves. We're getting at least 6 games at Coors in the finals there. They have Roster Resource has Estrada playing second base every day, hitting 7th, 28 years old. Hunter Goodman would be another scroll the F down name for the Colorado stuff. Guy who's got big time power. Seeing Matt Straw go there. Interesting. Yeah, there you go. Bubba Starling, 31 years old. We love him in KC. I always thought he was going to be a big deal. Bubba Thompson was like more recent. Bubba Thompson played on the Rangers for a bit and then played for KC as well, right? and he was like a speed guy. Guys, we still got like 250 of us hanging out. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, notification bell, all that fun stuff. Please and thank you. Wow, Grill Belichick is on it with these scroll the F down rookie guys. Bubba Chandler, Jordan Lawler. Can Jordan Lawler play third base every single day for that team, for Arizona? No more Jock Peterson for Arizona. They've been trying to get out of the Eugenio Suarez contract, but I don't think you can. I think he has to just be your starting third baseman. Josh Naylor replaces Bell. Josh Naylor replaces Josh Bell at first base. Yeah, just thinking out loud what that team's going to look like. Jordan Lawler could be like a big riser if you get good spring training news. But the problem is, where do you take Eugenio Suarez's at bats? They've been trying to move him, but they're not going to be able to move him. All right, we got ourselves a 6-7-6 here. I think outfield's strong. I think outfield is very strong with guys that are going to play every day. But I could add a seventh outfielder or a seventh pitcher. Nola, Kirby, Luis Castillo, Senga, Joe Ryan, Brandon Woodruff. I mean, if everybody's healthy and mowing, that's electric. But Tatis, Harris, Lou Bob, Stanton, Buxton, Varsho. I think we got to go pitcher here. Eric Fetty's boring. Nasty Nestor with a change of scenery. I'm going to put Severino in the queue just because. Charlie Morton's now in Baltimore. JP Sears. Obviously not as good a pitching park as it once was. Baltimore, or both Baltimore and Oakland won't be. Dan taking Brady Singer in Great American Small Park. Yu Darvish, a little bit of an innings eater back here. Lucas Giolito, after the year of absence, can he regain what we saw at the tail end of 2023 after the trade to the Angels? Griffin Canning is now a Met. Interesting. Is it Kumar Rocker season? Can he break camp with the team? Opening day dinger. Let's take a look at it. Let's go back and just take a little look. First dinger draft of the season, a 7-7-6. I told you guys that I'm going to be weak at infield, backstack the infield stuff. This looks like a team that has not a huge amount of ceiling upside and just looks like a bunch of old guy comfortable clicks. That's my initial read on it. But it's good. It's not going to be sexy on paper, but it's going to be like good ball players. This is the equivalent of taking like Matt Stafford double stacks, but for baseball. Nola, Kirby, Castillo, Senga, Ryan, Woodruff, Severino. Solid. That's how I describe that. I like the Seattle pitching stuff because of the home environment. The ERAs do not lie. Plus, they're good pitchers. Olsen, Machado, Royce Lewis, Diaz, McMahon, Bogarts, Estrada. Fine. Nothing to write home about. Tatis Jr. at pick 7. He has the best ADP on the board. I can make a case for Fernando Tatis Jr. being like ADP 4. Yep. He should. I mean, the Kyle Tucker one's really tough because I don't know what it's going to look like. It's kind of like a net neutral. Kyle Tucker was on fire to start the year last year. Then he fouls a ball off the middle of his shin, bone bruise, out for the year. It was bizarre. Comes back for the postseason. It was bizarre. It looked like he was going to miss a day. But man, Fernando Tatis Jr. sticks out there. I do think there's like a pretty clear line in the sand when you start doing the speculative stuff with Corbin Carroll and Julio bounce backs over the likes of Mookie Betts, Jose Ramirez, and that stuff. The ceilings are undoubtedly there. They're just much sketchier bets. Gunnar Henderson feels fine. Jarren Duran feels, I'm not as bullish as Nez is at the price tag, but we were way early on it, and I loved him for years before this breakout happened. So I got to stay with it. Anyways, our outfielders, Fernando Tatis Jr., Michael Harris should lead off or hit second every single day until Acuna is back, and then he should move down one spot. Michael Harris's price tag this year is better than what we were paying last year, despite it being the exact same thing, because last year was not baked into the fact that he would be hitting ninth like a vast majority of the season. This year, I don't anticipate that. He'll be at the top of the order almost all year. Lou Bob, Stanton, Buxton, Varsho. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 mean projection team. This is the equivalent of drafting Mike Connolly in the last round. That's what this is. Look at Big Christmas. Big Christmas. Noel finding his way in at 237. Look at this Will Smith price tag for your backstack Dodgers at 238. Down year last year. He's going to play 6 days a week. One of them's going to be at DH. 5 are going to be behind the dish. He's going to hit 6, 7, 8 every single day, all year long, behind some of the best hitters on planet Earth. 550 ABs from the Dodgers 6 hole, maybe 7 or 8 hole in the 20th round. Feels a whole lot better than Tyler Soderstrom. Although Tyler Soderstrom is a shoot the moon pick. Interesting. Very cool. Very fun draft. Glad everybody jumped in with us there. I'm going to preview the lobbies just real quick here. We got a $3 bunt, 20 max, 2K to first. That's a fun get your feet wet contest. Very fun get your feet wet contest. 20K total. Numi said he cooked with the frozen rope. 4,500 entries, 20 max, $50 price point. 2 out of 12, 2 out of 10, 2 out of 10, 30 seat final. Beautiful. 40K up top. 200K prize pool on low volume. That's where you'll find me. No, I'm going to do both. I'm going to do it all. But that's beautiful. And then the solo shot, running it back. We had a solo shot last year. A 4 out of 12, a 3 out of 12, a 3 out of 10, and then an 18-person final. Very fun. Well done. Well done. Ant-Man said he lives in the Bunt Streets. If you're watching this right now and you're hanging out right now, you definitely belong in the Dinger Streets as well. $1 million total baseball prize pool. 100K to first. Fucking love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. All right, let's end the show with this. Justin's asking what a dog bowl seat is. Dog bowl seat is a 1 in 24 entry to a live final in San Diego. They will give you per diem to be there. They'll pay for your party. They'll give you all sorts of fun gift baskets and get-togethers, hats, T-shirts, everything like this. Pete and I will be hanging out there. Yeah, lots of other people will be hanging out that you know and love from Underdog and from the space. Hayden and Josh have come to them in the past. I don't know if they will come for basketball, that sort of deal. But yeah, you win a 10K seat. So that 10K seat is your entry to the final contest. The final contest is $1 million guaranteed to 24 participants. And in that $1 million contest, it's 200K for first place. That if you win a seat, you get 5 drafts at the live final because one seat is worth 5 drafts. You're going to do 5 drafts at the live final for the NBA slate that given day for a chance at $200,000. The payout structure and all that fun stuff is in the rules tab on the Underdog website. And when it drops, oh shit, what did I just do? There we go. Here you go. Can all be found right here under the rules tab. I will share it in the chat for everybody for ease of access. That's what a dog bowl seat is. They're going to put you up in a beautiful place. I don't know if it's a hotel. I don't know if it's Airbnb. I don't know what the vibe is. I think it's a hotel. Some of the spots I've seen flirted around. Yeah. But you roll through one seat for the qualifier. It's taking place on the party is on the Friday of March 8th or March 7th rather. And then the actual slate that we will be drafting and playing will be on March 8th. And each ticket, each seat, that one 10,000 entry is worth 5 drafts. So it's like 5 $2,000 drafts. You'll get $1,000 cash credit for all your transportation to the venue. Then you will get all the retail equivalent of blah, blah, blah for hotel room and all that sort of stuff. You get to bring a friend with you, bring your wife, bring your whatever. You get a +1. Go look up what the NFL one looked like. If you go on Twitter, Pete made a great video to get everybody excited. I will see if it's still tagged at the top of his thing here. It is not. Let's see if I can find it for you real quick. You gotta do this stupid like. I mean, how are we doing this? Twitter searches are so bunk now. I'll find it for you guys. I'll find it for you guys and share it in the future. But he had a big video of everything that took place at the NFL one. And it's awesome. We watch all the games together, have some casual beers, tons of free food, great food. Watch the games, sweat the games, and then someone walks home with 200K. It's great. It's well worth your time. It's well worth your effort. It's one of my favorite things about Underdog Fantasy. All right, almost 3 hours. This is insane. I'm not built like Davis. I'm not built like this, but we had to make sure we got the dinger in there. Scroll all the way back to the beginning if you guys want some alpha for the hoop stuff. Stay tuned for this week. Some time slots are going to be moving around, but I think Off It on the Clock is going to be on Thursday. I think tomorrow is going to be a paywall show or maybe 2 segments in a paywall show. Wednesday and Friday are the Dog Bowl draft days this week, I believe. Let me just confirm before I log off and tell everybody fake information. Numi told me in the chat. I'm scrolling. I'm like 90% sure. Frozen Rope, Numi's talking about Wednesday and Friday this week. Wednesday and Friday, if you want to win a Dog Bowl seat, qualifiers are Wednesday and Friday. So we'll be running shows on Wednesday and Friday. to cover both of those. One might be behind the paywall. Anyways. All right. First dinger under our belt. Super stoked to have baseball almost all the way back. I love this so much. Mad respect to the powers that be at Underdog that were cooking behind the scenes there. Mad respect to all you guys showing up and staying here, hanging out this whole time. Much love. Everybody's favorite time of the show. The end. Good luck tonight. Peace.